never been tested like this, but this is mine. It's not a matter of chance, just a matter of time. Never look back. If something's standing in my way, I always push back. If something seemed impossible, I never took that. Nah, cause now I know better. Can't stop, won't stop, I won't quit ever.
The deepest waters won't take me, the highest fall won't break me. The blood and sweat is what made me.
I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
The deepest waters won't take me, the highest fall won't break me. The blood and sweat is what made me.
I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
I'm taking it to the sky. I'm never taking a break, I'm only taking what's mine. You say it's taking too long, I'm taking that as a sign. It's not a matter of faith, just a matter of time. Never look back. If something's standing in my way, I always push back. When something seemed impossible, I never took that. Nah, cause now I know better. Can't stop, won't stop, I won't quit ever.
The deepest waters won't take me, the highest fall won't break me. Blood and sweat is what made me.
I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
The deepest waters won't take me, the highest fall won't break me. The blood and sweat is what made me.
I'ma get mine, just a matter of time. I'ma get mine, just a matter of time.
The story that they sold us keeps us hanging. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We have our game for today between Centurion Academy and Hentai Haven, and it's certainly going to be a good one, isn't it, Hashi?
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually really hyped to watch this. Like,
Yeah.
I really want this match to get going because in a history of trash talk between, well, I guess Drigger and Hentai Haven. So
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, kind of Trigger's thing, he does tend to hype things up and get very excited. And it's very interesting because obviously Hentai Haven went up against Centurion's main team, in fact, in the previous round and did beat them.
yeah, that's actually right. I don't know Drigger's like recent involvement with the main team, but if that was any indication of how this game would go, like since they're actually playing versus Drigger, hyped. I want to see Hentai Haven bring their A game today.
I mean, without their A game, it's going to be a very difficult match. It is hard to determine who's actually going to come out on top here, but do you potentially have those statistics of what people voted?
Yeah, so out of 80 prediction forms filled, or I guess 80 people like predicting, CNA has received only 37.5% of the votes, while 62.5% has gone all the way to Hentai Haven, meaning about 62.5% of 80 people actually believe Haven will win this game. If anything, I feel like this might be a 2-0. We don't know yet.
Really? That's really interesting. So, Hentai Haven definitely coming in as the favorite team in terms of how you're.
Yeah. Yeah, like I guess that's the public opinion. I think it's a very, very volatile matchup. It will come down to bot lane and the jungle for the most part, because that's where make their like their highest impact. So yeah, I think. But overall, if one team like isn't really dominating the other, I'd say it's a 2-1 to Hentai Haven.
Certainly is an interesting thing to look at. I mean, so what do you think is going to be the way, if it's other than the bot lane, what do you think are the kind of pillars of strength for Hentai Haven?
Okay, so I haven't watched for Bedre play much. I have maybe like one or two games, but I know Turtle well, and between the two, I put my money on Turtle. Has pathing knowledge, and moreover, he has a very strong like game sense and is very well aware of what's going on around him, and because of that, I feel if jungle gets ahead, it'll stay ahead for the rest of the game. Like Hensa said, Turtle. Mid, Kraden's filling mid, as far as I'm aware, and Navarian's shown very little to the public, so I guess that could go either way. Hawks, on the other hand, for Hentai Heaven, is also a really solid player, but he could also be potentially one of their downfalls, because he takes Ignite, he doesn't take top, he doesn't really play much for the team, looks for the lane dominance. Then you have another player without TP. So I guess Hentai Heaven all across the board really strong. CNA kind of matching it.
Yeah, so if they put a lot of aggression into this top side and take down Hawksworth early, that could be the way they fall down in at least one of these games, because he is quite a volatile player, as you said.
See, here's the thing. Rework top laner, I know this guy. This guy has skill. This guy knows how to push a lead. If he gets a lead, if Forbedre camps top, that's it for Hentai Heaven. On the other hand, the way Hentai Heaven win this is the same. Like, one is obviously like, setting up a camp top, so that Hawksworth is free to make, free to like roam around the map, or by focusing down bot lane and giving it to Dan or P on me to carry. In fact, actually, just as I say that, they actually just drew a top ban, and they also drew a bot side ban on next trigger, which I think is totally fair.
I certainly agree, and I think that's why they actually picked up the Kaiser instantly for Drigger, because they don't want to get him into that second round of bans and then suddenly get put on something where he really can't perform.
Exactly. I've played with Drigo. Drigo's one of my favorite ACs in the league. Like he knows how to carry on the picks. He knows how to actually play. It's one of those hard carry picks. It's on, but the only problem is in a meta where games end around 30 minutes, Kaisa only comes online around like 25 to 30 minutes. So, you know,
Yeah, it's about finding that opportunity.
could be a bit dicey for them.
Actually impact the game, because as you said,
So that's definitely a solid bot lane. Kaisa Braum is a super safe lane. Braum has enough appeal to stop Kaisa from whatever they pick now on Hentai Heaven's side.
Yes, true. I mean, if he does get ahead in that lane, I think.
On the other hand, though, I do like the Orianna pick. I feel like it's a safe pick. It really brings a lot to the team fights. It's CC as well.
Interesting that seeing the Lulu pick up to potentially pair with this Ezreal. Not something I genuinely think is a very good kind of pairing.
You see, it's not the greatest because Lulu is typically an Ardent Census champion, and Ezreal's not an Ardent Census like abusing AEC. It could work only because it provides this utility and this peel, and Ronnie's
So I go.
Yeah, so we do actually see a couple of bans come on through to even a Garen going through there. Perhaps is Rework top laner known for banning overtaking Garen?
Want me to wait while you go get them?
Yeah, no. So I assume that's a yes. Can't quite tell, unfortunately. Hershey is experiencing some mic issues. I don't know if it's gone, unfortunately. I can't say that, Hershey. But we do actually see the Jax being picked up. And I'm interested to see whether this will be the jungle Jax. Interesting to see what matchup will actually end up being having. I do actually especially like Orianna pairing with Jax, because obviously you can dive right on. You can also have the Lulu drop the ultimate there, and that is going to be a pretty devastating combo in the mid lane. In the mid game where they can just jump right on top and then instantly create that engage, utilizing the Jax. And it's actually going to be a Jax top lane, it seems. They are hovering at Udyr. They even pick it up. This is going to be quite interesting to see. I've not actually seen much Udyr. Definitely going to be an interesting set of games. I especially like the Jarvan 4 pick. I actually think J4 is a really strong pick currently, especially if you're getting onto things like the Orianna, which doesn't have a huge amount of escapes, and also onto the Lulu potentially in the backline, because you can do a lot of damage very quickly, force up the ultimate, and then Jarvan kind of keeps a lot of people still locked in, even with that. It's if they manage to turn on him and focus him down where it could be really devastating. 10 seconds. Oh no, we've got a whole other minute. I completely forgot about that. Unfortunately, Hashi is still having mic issues, but that should be resolved soon. I want to say soon. I can't make any promises. Hopefully, touch wood, it is soon. We've got 3 minutes now, and I like the Renekton Jax matchup. I think in the early levels, basically, if Renekton can get onto him properly, it is pretty devastating. Once you hit 6, you start to go forward. Obviously, later in the game, Jax is much more of a threat and split pushing. And it's interesting to see the Jax actually go on to Hawksworth. When he doesn't take TP, can't play that sideline pressure. If it was the other way around, this would make a lot of sense to me. But they're not going. It's going to be the Jax with the Ignite and the Renekton with the TP. So if we see a trade in the early game and Hawksworth comes out on top, that could go very quickly in his favor. But with the power behind Renekton, it's going to be difficult. Definitely keep that in mind as we go on through. And I will admit, I don't know a huge amount about Uda. I'm interested to see how his patterns will go. I think he's just going to look to potentially invade this J4 and take away his camps and slowly kind of deny him a lot of the value which he wouldn't normally be receiving. But against this J4 who can effectively win trades early on, like with his passive, it might be a bit of a scary fight. If you get QE'd onto, if you make the wrong invade, could easily get taken out with a good rotate from any of these, especially with Lux, with the ability to kind of deal with things at a long range. Definitely going to be a lot of long range utility here as well, especially since Kai'Sa can obviously use her ultimate to get on over. Ezreal with the True Shot Barrage can do a lot of damage from range, and also that Lux will watch for players to kind of get picked off on the backside. And there is a lot of pick in that as well, because you hit the binding, you hit the Bronchu, the Jarvan dives in, and that's instantly going to be one member, two members even of the side of Hentai Haven just instantly getting blown up with the follow-up damage. And when Kai'Sa is allowed to free hit, she does a decent amount of damage even early on in this game. So do have to respect that, because if you get those multiple procs off, it kind of goes all downhill from there. Interesting to see which of these bot lanes, as we actually had Hashi say, will come out on top. In terms of matchup, it should be Ezreal being more aggressive, especially around that 2-item power spike that Ezreal has, where he's kind of one of the best champions in the game. It's going to be where they really need to push their advantage. Kind of the games go about 30 minutes, as Hashi says, and within that, Ezreal is really good, around maybe 15-20 minutes. And then after that, if they haven't gotten in enough of a lead, the Kai'Sa will just come online, and yeah, it'll be close to game over from that point. They will have turned the corner, but they won't be quite out of the woods yet, because obviously Ezreal, if you're a very skilled player, still does an absurd amount of damage. That is the new Lunar Empress Lux. That is a pretty nice skin. I didn't even know that existed, I will admit. You see Jax and the Renekton both taking Conquerors here. We've got a Star Guardian bot lane on one side. Quite a pretty game. I assume from the fact that they are definitely not Udyr that Turtle does play a lot of the Udyr. I mean, just picking Udyr means you must have confidence in him, and also most people who play Udyr play a lot of Udyr. That's at least my knowledge of it. So I'm looking at that going forward. For Badra taking quite an aggressive one with the Dark Harvest on his job. Definitely going to be interesting this mid lane as well. I was going to say control mages. Obviously, Orianna is, and Lux is more of a burst. But if we hit 6, both these players are going to have to be very careful, because ganks coming in on either side, that's going to be a dead summer.
Hello?
Oh, you're back.
Okay. So I think you made some really, really good points, like while I was facing technical issues. I think, like you said, J4 I like in the mid to late game, because the engage potential he brings about is insane. It's one of my favorites, and also that later on, if you can get onto the Orianna, you can get onto the Lulu. That's it. Like you have a man advantage immediately, because their lockdown is insane. Nah. On the other hand, Hentai Haven, they also have so much utility, so much feel. Like you said, the Orianna Jax ball delivery system is perfect for AoE team fights. Anyway, outside of that, I must I must
30
point out
seconds until
that.
minions
no.
spawn.
Ouch! No.
Potato, no!
First blood.
And was blood over to the J4. That is sad, but it's all right. It's not the worst. J4 can. This means J4 actually has an easier time in the matchup. I was just about to say this really. Total. Well, sorry. Udyr wins out from levels 1 to 6 versus the J4. He's a really strong
Minions have
jungler,
spawned.
but mainly a dueling jungler. The J4 actually is more of a gank heavy jungler, you know, because there's no like direct contact with the Udyr.
Yeah.
But I feel like this just gave over of the advantage Udyr would have had in the early levels. It also gave him a Dark Harvest block, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, completely different. You completely
Another thing I was also going to say was the Udyr's Dark Harvest is just very interesting, actually. I would not do that. Say it was maybe it's just now you kind of have to play the cleanup style rather than, you know, engage on your own.
Actually, got Double going straight for an invade here on the top side. Look at the kid with that blue buff, trying to get something back. And it was in diamond. Make up for the early kills given over to fullback.
Yeah, and I feel like that's fair. You have the ability to do that, you do it. But on the other hand, for Bedre has actually kind of, I don't know, he's actually spotted that on the ward, on the blue side ward, on the top side pixel brush. So he's going for Udyr's blue as well. I think it's just a regular trade. So the Udyr still has, sorry, the J4 still has a bit of response.
And now we do have that vertical jungling.
Yeah, definitely, exactly that. In my opinion, at least, CNA has a better 4-1 form, while Hentai Heaven actually has a bit more of a 1-3-1 form. It's just whichever side gets their solo laners, or well, the side lanes ahead. First, pretty much.
On that point, you say it's been a 1-3-1 comp, but the issue is Oxford, as you said, doesn't take TP. It isn't on it. He's going for an early trade on Peru top laner, doesn't find him. There is something going down in that bot jungle. Turtle does contest with Forbedra early on.
And that's the idea that, you know, Hawks always takes Ignite and not TP. That's exactly kind of the issue over here, because they have such good champs for like 1-3-1s, but if you don't have TP, how are you gonna 1-3-1?
It is. But that's a good stun from Rework top lane. It is trading well. Need to be careful now, because Hogsworth is actually doing a lot of damage in this top lane.
There is one thing that's really redeeming of the Jax pick that I find most people really don't consider too much. That Jax in the mid to late game, if he finds those 3-man, 4-man, 5-man stuns, damn, that could be devastating for the other side.
It's a thing similar to landing that cast person from Forbedra. They're going aggressive in the bot lane here as they are looking to get onto P. Don't quite make.
That's kind of something I like about Lulu. When she actually has the mana, right now she doesn't, but...
Oh, that is just unlucky for P. The flash coming in from everyone. Marco will be the one to pick up the kill with that flash Q from the Braum. That'll be the second kill going over. Naveri needs to be careful. Doing more damage, but this is a really nice set of burst from Naveri to take it back. This will be kills going all over them.
I think that like overall, I feel like that CNA a really hard won that little like trade between mid, like not, it wasn't even a trade actually. It was just like solo kills in mid lane and a gank from the top and from the bot lane, because now Kai'Sa, who should be losing lane, isn't gonna lose lane anymore, or shouldn't, or will actually have a harder time losing lane now.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very different situation, and those early kills make a huge difference. Even if it goes assists in favor of Trigger, he also is now up 10 CS. He also has a stronger, like, there's kind of a dip for the Ezreal when they build that tier at first, and if the opponent backs at the same time. Now it's a BF sword in favor of Trigger, and like no combat stats for P. This is going to be pretty one-sided if we get into a proper trade.
As like you actually mentioned, Ezreal does go through like a power off until mid game because like you said, he's not buying any raw damage while Kai'Sa does. His first back is actually going to be super strong. If they look for fights now, that's it. Like they can win these pretty hard. The thing is, there's a reason Brom's been really meta while Lulu hasn't, and there's a reason I like. Oh. Oh, that's a nice bash. Right, so my point earlier was that Lulu, when you're an Ardent Sensor support with an ADC that abuses Ardent Sensor, but something like Ezreal, not too much. It gives you a safe lane, but if Brom gets onto you and you get all in by a J4 Brom Kai'Sa, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, oh, that is a flashing Udyr. Navarian does just about manage to make it back out. Kraden's looking for it, but the barrier is at least forced out onto Navarian. But it is, as you say, and looking back again at this bot lane, we're seeing aggression all over the place, but this Lulu isn't really what you want. And normally, you shouldn't be worried about this Ezreal to try and get through the lane phase. Normally, they're quite strong in it and don't have to worry. Especially against this Kai'Sa, it just seems like it's a mismatched pick.
Yes. I mean, see, comfort picks are something, but sometimes comfort picks won't work if they're just not worked for like a really long time,
Yeah. Like there's such a thing as a comfort pick, but if the pick just isn't in the right situation, it's never gonna work.
Exactly. I guess you can make an argument that the Lulu works okay if when mid to late game comes around and she puts the Ardent Sensor right onto Jax or something, and yeah, okay, it works out. But and right now it's not looking like that because where's the scaling? It's just Oriano. But it feels like the Renekton's actually doing so much worse than Jax. He's constantly bullying him. I know he's a lane bully,
yeah,
but
he's 20 CS up already.
It's a massive amount actually. He's waiting, yeah.
This is a really good situation for rework top laner. I think this is what we're looking for in that he can take this advantage over Hawksworth. And what can Hawksworth really do about it? He is just a Jax. He's actually looking for this. As I say that, he actually goes straight onto him and kills him. Custer's curse.
Big up Hawksworth, man. Like that ignite actually paid off. And I guess obviously the early aggression and everything, he actually played that super well. Oh, but just as you say that,
utilizing that dodge so well is actually winning out this fight. For Bedra, you really need to respect this Jax, who's just going to take you down. 2 kills. Now the aggression going onto Potato, but Turtle is here for the counter gank. They're getting aggressive as well. They want to take down Marcotan here, but the stun goes onto Turtle. All of the shielding keep him alive. Potato makes it out barely. Trigger overextends, has to flash back and will just about survive. But that heal me gets hit by the fadeaway, and the kill goes down to Drake.
If I'm a support main, and I can kind of tell when you've done your job and when you've not. I feel like the Brom could have easily thrown that down, and he nearly did. But I think big up Trigger for like showing up in that 2v3 kind of moment. He played that super well. I guess that was the overextension, but he's kiting well, doing well. He's getting his A game around, and Kai'Sa's just the Kai'Sa gameplay is just gonna get even better. Feels kind of down 27 CS. He's also 2 deaths, so like this is actually going to be a really hard game for them to come back from. It lies nearly entirely on Hawksworth and Total, who I'd arguably say are like the strongest players on Hentai Heaven. So it's not all's lost. Just make sure you have these 2 popping up.
Oh. That's gotta hurt if you're rework top laner. You're now 0-2. He's catching up in the CS. Hawksworth gets the tower damage, gets the kit of the proc, gets the 160 gold, and things are just going downhill rapidly in this top lane.
He really needs to pull it together because otherwise he's just gonna lose this lane even harder. You see, Renekton might still just win this lane, might still get the tower before Jax does.
It will be difficult. It will require some good jungle pressure.
Exactly. burnt TP now, so it's like there's no TP advantage on either sides of the map. Now it just looks like it's just all down to the jungle. But and as I say that,
that's a dead crab. Speaking about dead players.
I mean, Fabedra is doing all he can, even if Navarian misses his skill shots. I think they're doing good in trying to keep the Orianna down. Keep the Orianna early. You kind of delay her scaling. That's an interesting build path. I just realized he's gone Oblivion Orb on Orianna. That's Morelos isn't really like the first. He's only building like one component for Morelos.
I think he's going for the old, pull back to when you used to just build Morelos on everything, and you really need to be careful. Diving Alulu is always very difficult, even if you have that Brahmin trigger. Just managed to sidestep, but good response from Thotato to keep himself alive.
That was a good that was a good engage. There was really good thought behind that. Just bad execution. You know, kind of just running into Tara aggro and picking up Tara aggro. That was a little unfortunate.
They did overextend a little bit. I think they know Marco's coming out.
Yeah.
There's that red ward. I think they need to look at a little bit more for vision here. I think Marco probably could have gotten some of that. And teams really need to develop that, especially if you are on the side of Centurion Academy, because you want to play a more pet comp, need to control the vision. And you are ahead for now, but at the look of things, it's not going to be for long. You need to be very careful. You need to definitely extend your lead here.
You see, this is something that a lot of teams, a lot of players, I guess to some extent even I'm guilty of it. Support and jungle don't work together very well. You see, the J4 was around, and they knew Odir was topside, so okay to get that pink ward out of the way and control vision, at least force another pink ward placement and stuff, you know? That's the kind of stuff you need to have. If you're gonna push a lead, you need to get deep wards in. Okay, if you're not gonna get deep wards, then at least get their wards out of their own jungle, you know? It's not the worst. They are winning their lane, so you can't ask for too much, for a lot more. Kai'Sa's winning lane. That's big in its own.
Fox is catching up in terms of CS, only like 15 down now. That is going to be a dead mid laner, maybe even on both sides, but the flash is forced out from Navarian. At least Turtle does force something in response to Kraden, but Kraden so far 0-3, not having a great game on the Orianna.
You see, Odir also did burn flash for that, so yeah, that really didn't work out in Henta Heaven's favor. That flash on Odir, thing is he hasn't gone ghost, and he's gone flash, and it's not a bad choice or anything, it's just when your flash is down, which is a considerably higher cooldown than ghost is, you kind of lose your engage potential, you lose that turn potential, you just kind of have to run at them at full speed. And hope you just don't get busted down this early.
It's historically one of the weaknesses of Udyr, he kind of just has to run at people. It's not an effective means of engage.
Definitely. I guess right now it's literally just the Jax. It's on the Jax and Orianna to make the engage happen. Otherwise, they just won't have any. Obviously, until like Odir's flash comes up. One thing I do actually want to point out, like right now, reworked top laner's items of choice. You see, he's losing lane. I guess when he bought the Tiamat, he was ahead.
Yeah.
Kind of counterintuitive right now, because he's getting pushed in, he's losing the lane, and he's involuntarily pushing the lane out, so it gives Jax an opportunity to freeze on him.
Yeah, this is like the best situation for Fox to be in if he's going to try and push this lead. But there is a lot of jungle pressure which he needs to be aware of for Vedra. It's quite scary.
Yeah, and I mean, even the Renekton move down, just, you know, smart. If you're not winning your lane, but you're strong right now, you do wrong. That's unlucky.
It's kind of necessary. So let's get aggressive here before Vedra. Eventually looking to engage. Does get so much done alongside Navarian here. They will be taking down Kraden. No, Kraden actually managed to get the flash. Oh, nice to perform it. Hawksworth is here on top of Navarian. He's not going to lock him up, but there is the leap from Hawksworth after the flash. They're going to continue the swipe, but both top laners deciding probably not going to get too much out of that, and just decide to farm them.
honestly, like I told you, like, jungle mid for CNA and top lane for Hentai Haven. Holy damn, they're making, like, they're making their money's worth. It's like Varian played that as well as he could for Bedra also. Oh, and there, just to say that Hox is also doing his good work on them. Like I said, I think Hox is like Hentai Haven's saving grace right now.
I mean, it would certainly seem so from the scorelines. 4-0. Rest of his team already breaking a sweat.
Quite interesting he's gone with the Sterix first item there, though.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, hi, Jack.
Hello.
Welcome to that.
Sorry
Welcome,
to interrupt you guys mid-game.
It's okay, you're always welcome here.
I think the Serax is okay because the shield scales up early, base AD, and even though the scaling's not that much, like the Jax, it's like early on, I meant, it gives you good survivability, especially versus a team that has like so much damage packed in J4, Renekton, Lux. It's okay. It's a good item to have. I would say though, the earlier he gets his Sheen, the strong, the better his power spike will be.
He's to look towards that pretty soon. That tower though, in the bot lane, looks like it's just going to go down. This is a really nice first turret for the side of Centurion, and they're going to potentially look to influence the map from here, because obviously they now got control a little bit more of that bot side jungle from the red side.
I'm just trying to look into how much gold the Kai's sitting on. It seems like it should be a lot, because yeah, it's been a while since he's bought anything, and he's just got first turret. I think Marco could have done better there to give Kai'Sa the first blood on the turret solo, but it's not the worst, and the fact that they got that is good enough.
Yeah, this is actually really good. They have hit their second item at 17 minutes, 18 minutes. This is going to be pretty nice. That's going to be the ult. They're looking to take down Kraden here. That is actually a look down flash. Isn't quite going to be the kill. Kraden doesn't even die. That's a lot of investment.
That was a very good ult by Kraden there.
Yeah, actually, I think Marco did what he could, but Kraden actually, I'd go so far as to say that he outplayed him. He got himself out of such a bad situation.
Yeah, and he got the ult. Well, that's going to be really hard for Academy to for fight.
I think good on Turtle for sniffing something like that was gonna happen, for being there just in time to save his mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams like to rotate as soon as that first turret falls in the bot lane. It's been a long time strategy for a lot of players. Turtle and Fox were going straight onto Trigger though.
Good flash.
Many flashes expended. The heal. Trigger looked like he's going to go down anyway. And that's so much expended. Next time it's going to be even easier.
I mean, it's a good shutdown. It's a good shutdown at least. It's good, especially it's good because the Odir got it, so he's not it kind of fills his scaling win condition, which I quite like. I just noticed actually, the Lulu has taken the ancient coin line, for her support item. Now that's from lane where you do have a little bit, your side. You should probably be taking the Spell Thief's Edge one. It kind of gives you a little more damage, and the AP health is really good for your shield and everything.
Very good Rift Herald there for Hentai Haven. That's probably going to allow them to apply more pressure around the map. Maybe pop it top or mid and allow the.
Oh, I believe Jack shouldn't have gotten that. I think Odir would have done a better job with it. Oh, this is
looks for Trigger here, but will go down. This is really well played by Nibarian in general.
CNA actually had really good communication there. I like it because they had all 5 of their members in that fight. They were ready to collapse on them if they got heralded, which I feel like is really good if you're gonna look for a reactive play and you know that the other team's gonna make the proactive one.
Yeah, I mean, on the side of Hentai Haven, at least Hotspur does pick up that Herald's Eye, so they can use it. It wasn't completely denied, but so many kills going back. Will it really be worth it?
I mean, if Jax can get a split push off, it's what?
Yeah. But he hasn't even taken down first tower, which is all this Jax really key to get that down. Probably by around now.
He should have, but you know, team and I guess team play is a thing, and Forbedra has done a good job of like on top side and not letting the Jax completely just roll over top lane. You know, first turret and everything. Even though he has some kills, but those are again solo kills. I just noticed Azrael actually just finished, like not just now actually, it's been like, I think it's been about 2 minutes. And now he's finished his 2 items. He's got his full tier, he's got his first tier item fully stacked. So now I think his power throw, no, is kind of going away. He will do decent damage. It's just on whether plays it well or not now. Or if
actually, it's going to be top tower going down. Yeah. Sorry, not pretty early, pretty well from Foxworth, but won't be able to really capitalize upon the rest of it and just use it to cash in. As the rest of his team does push mid and gets the outer turret. That's all outer turrets down all across the map.
I actually wanted to mention this for
Really good flash.
Kraden, my man. Those are insane reactions. Oh, that's also a good ult.
Oh, gets blocked by Marco's Santos, that true shot barrage. Turtle eats a lot of damage here. So much healing pumped into him to keep him alive, but for naught. Forbedra does go down in response. Kraden trying to keep himself alive. Good knock up from Marcus Santos to deny the re-engage. Kraden is forced off, and it ends relatively bloodlessly, but these teams do not want to engage on each other right now.
I think Marco-san pulled the trigger on his ult a little too late. I think they probably could have won more. Oh wait,
Hawksworth, probably a bit unnecessary to go in there. You know, kind of had to waste his flash a little bit, but I like the aspiration he had there.
So it sounds like as if you say this to me very often during our games. But yeah, I guess he's trying to do what he possibly can do, which isn't the nicest to watch, you know. It's like he's doing well. He's doing really well. It's just kind of sad that the game state is what it is right now.
And now, you know, Academy have got, you know, Lux is really massive at the moment, so that's going to be very hard for them for team fights as well, because, you know, she's like probably one of the best control mages to have in a, you know, in a team comp. So as long as she can stay well protected and dish out that damage, it's going to be very hard for Hentai Haven to, you know, start winning and turning around these team fights.
Especially in like jungle fights and like choke point fights, my god, the stuff Lux can do because of her ability.
With the Jarvanol as well, you know, the Cataclysm.
The Cataclysm?
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the name.
Yeah, the Cataclysm plus Binding Light. Yeah. And the Bromall, there's so much lockdown. You know, I was gonna mention this before the game that I really didn't get to because of my technical difficulties. It's a very interesting matchup watching Tornado or Rani versus Marco-san, because you can see, like, you know, DL, VL, you know, the old guard versus the new guard in Marco-san and all, and Turtle, Hawksworth versus Forbedra and Rework top laner. It's like Forbedra and Rework top laner are like new to VL. This is their first split, while Turtle, Hawksworth, they were here in VL like last split. But Hentai Heaven as a whole, like the team, the org, is really old. It's pre-VL times, like during complete league, complete league times, and it's from then. Back then they were Flammable Liquids, then Eagles and Tetris, then Chicks with Sticks, now Hentai Heaven. While Centurion is like the brainchild of just Trigger from this split onwards. I think right now Centurion kind of has the upper hand, but
yeah,
I'm not ruling Hentai Heaven out. I know that if given a little wiggle room to get their win conditions going, which is their 1v1 with Odir and Jackson on the sidelines, oh, they can make it happen.
Yeah, and even though, you know, Centurion are, what's that, 3k up now, it's gonna be they, you know, Hentai Haven need that one fight or that one play that's going to turn it around for them at this point.
Definitely.
Lux being that key target for them and that 700 gold bounty at the moment. So whoever can pick that up will be quite a good pickup for them.
Primarily, you want Udyr or Jax getting onto the Lux. Primarily, you want her Cotton and Orianna out, and then have the Jax get onto her. Whatever it is, get that Lux down and get the Kai'Sa, like just zone the Kai'Sa away from the fight if you can't kill her, because I know it's gonna be hard to do that.
Hentai Heaven in the perfect position for the Drake now. Looks like Hogclaw is going to do his best to try and keep them on top as they go for the Drake. And then...
yeah. This could be sad. This could be bad. Oh, that is.
Yeah, that was a big just mistake from Hogclaw, being way too far up and getting caught. Get out. They're going to turn instantly onto the Baron. They should be able to take this, or at least take the ensuing fight.
That's a very bold Baron from Centurion Academy.
I like the coordination on CNA's side with like vision and stuff. They've got a blue ward behind the pit. Sorry, a pink ward behind the pit. They had pink wards in the jungle. They kind of forced Foxwells to make a mistake like that. Oh, that's a flash in.
That's a good secure. Oh, and now they're just mopping them all up. Trigger going in.
Yeah, there's not much you can really do at this point. I mean, he goes down. Potato saving themselves rather than the ADC. You know, every man for himself at this point.
I think Potato was too far out there for the ult in the end there.
Just noticed, Kraden died with flash and ignite off. Oh no.
Really get a chance to be fair. Got stunned up and just taken down by the
You see, the best thing to usually do really is, in my opinion, is flash before it happens, just so you're safe. You know, prevention is better than cure.
Yeah, that's certainly true, but didn't expect to get advantage.
Yeah, that's true. All I want to see right now is like, you know, the damage graphs like after this game. I'm actually like, I'm actually kind of hyped to see who did the most between like Lux and Kai'Sa. They're both doing their part. I'm waiting to see what comes next. It feels like a bit of a confused build from Kraden. I feel like he might have needed that Seeker's Arm Guard like early, or much earlier. But right now he has and the Seeker's Arm Guard, and I'm not too sure.
I think the Morello's a bit of an interesting first buy as well. I think the Ludens might have been much better.
Yeah.
I mentioned it myself. Ludens is the better build right now because it's, you know, of the mana it gives, and
it's got also that burst for lane as well and wave clear, which is really good against the Lux, especially because, you know, she can easily match the wave clear with her E, and she has the Ludens as well, and it's going to be hard to like to deal with that.
Yeah, fully agree. But I will say right now, I don't want to say that, you know, hope's lost, but looking at their items, the items on CNA's side, Kai'Sa just completed her IE. That's a scary item. That's a very scary item, because every time he crits, he's just gonna do true damage now. And he has, I think, about 60% crit. Now he's just gonna melt through everyone.
J4's got the Guardian Angel. He's just gonna be looking to go straight in no matter what, because he knows that he has a second life as well. That's gonna be very costly for Hentai Haven in the long term.
Long term. I mean, like, I don't feel like there will be too much for long term.
Oh, you gotta have some hope, Archie. Have some hope. Yeah. They could colossally mess up.
That's true. It's happened before. It's happened in a lot of games before. Not by CNA, but like just overall.
But yeah, as they take the second inhibitor. Oh, Kraden!
Oh, that was a good flash charge.
But it won't be really enough. They just lose so many players here, and Kraden's going down as well. It's all but over.
Oh yeah. You see, this is kind of what I meant with, like, you know, the item.
GG World players are coming out in the chat, and it looks like all Hentai Haven have lost.
I mean, there's a game 2, and Hentai Haven can pull it back if they play for a much clearer condition game.
Yeah, I do think they want to go with something potentially not Luda. I want to look for something more engaging because Luda just felt irrelevant that entire game.
Exactly. Like don't pick stuff that that. Okay, even if Hawks is good on them, it's like not Hawks. Sorry, even if Troll's good on them, don't pick stuff that's like a little unreliable sometimes. Pick stuff that Turtle's really good at and is reliable. He's known for his Dr. Mundo. He's known for his Zinzao. He's known for these kinds of champs that he can just play. But
and it looks like their comp wasn't really that engaging because they only had Kraden's ult, the the Oriana role, and then they just had more of a follow up rather than the main engage compared to Centurion Academy. He had the J4, the Lux, the Braum, even possibly Renekton if he wants to go straight in with his ult. So
you just give Ronnie or Totaro, whatever the world floats your boat. Give Totaro, tank your champion. Don't give her the Lulu. Or if you're gonna pick the Lulu, pick her in a situation where she can actually do. There's a full use of her.
Yeah, she didn't really have an opportunity to really make a huge impact. Did keep a couple of players alive, but it just wasn't the right pick for the situation, and you can see that by the 0-1-1 scoreline. They just didn't get to make an input more than anything.
Yeah, definitely. And a big up on Hawksworth for trying his best, like early on. But I feel like even he was a bit of a part of the problem when he just started like kind of throwing his lead off.
Well, let's see if Hentai Heaven can turn it around in game 2, make it a 1 or take it to a game 3 possibly, which will be hype to say the least. And for those wondering what happened in the other games, Team Elite has won game 1 against VVD in a very fast 28 minutes, 13.5k gold lead when the game was finished. So that's quite the margin there. And then I think Asco did very well on the Morgana, 2-0 and 10, and Lordio coming out with a 3-0 and 9. So both looks like they played very well.
Revival. Actually, Rock, do you wanna?
No, I mean, I don't unfortunately know many of the players' names, but right, okay. Revival did win their first game against PEX in 36 minutes. The note is Paxlo being a true support on going 1, 3, and 11 on Caitlyn.
Oh, always love that support, AD carry.
I mean, Paxlo is that guy. but I'm sure. Again, I think Polite Execution can pull it versus Revival. I think they actually have the voter bias goes to them. I believe it's a 51.25% to Polite Execution. So I'm sure like game 2 might go better for them. For Team Elite, like as you mentioned, he did beat VVD game 1. They have a 56.25% off the 80%, so about like 40 to 42 people have voted for T to or at least predict that T will come victorious. So so far I think semi according to what to popular opinion, semi not,
Mm-hmm. So we are going to head to a quick break. Just been informed, so we'll see for the second match between Hentai Haven and Centurion Academy just after that.
At the stars, when everybody runs, you gotta stand tall. Hit after hit, you can never fall. If the stars come crashing, you'll be the one to catch them. Don't let go. You could be a hero. Scream your name. When the world comes crashing down, you'll take the pain. You could be a hero. You find a way. Every battle leads you closer to today. You could be a hero. You're almost Gotta stay prepared. You can't be afraid if you wanna be great. Gotta give it all before it's too late. This is your moment. It's time for you to take it. You could be a hero. Scream your name. When the world comes crashing down, you'll take the pain. You could be a hero. You'll find a way. Every battle led you closer to today. You could be a hero.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second game between Centurion Academy and Hentai Haven. I am joined by Hashi and the one, the only Wakandan Chewy.
Oh, Wakanda forever.
It's Wakanda Chewy, and it's like everyone mistakes it, especially our jungler, I Endeavor. Hashtag bring back I Endeavor.
Well, he's technically he's unbanned. He just can't
He is
play until he
unbanned.
reaches meet
Yeah. Get
restrictions.
this guy back.
So Endeavor back in 2020. Everyone booking
Yeah.
calendars.
Ridley Sandbags back in Ridley Sandbags and he's back, yo. Anyway, I back to the game at hand. Hentai Haven was this time Hentai Haven's actually on the blue side. Centurion Academy is on the red side. I'm very interested in seeing how they change up their drafts, because I feel like Hentai Haven's last time was a bit like they abused the fact that they could have a flex pick with the red side counter pick kind of strategy, but at the same time I feel like their picks and everything by themselves were a bit off, so to see how they change up, how they adapt, because that's the beauty of best of threes. Same thing with Centurion Academy. I hope they have something new up their sleeves.
I have an idea. How about they don't give up first blood in the first 2 minutes?
I mean that's definitely a solid strat. It's a very solid strat.
It will help you in the long run, I believe.
Yeah. Oh lord. I completely forgot to mention actually. I looked over the damage graphs from the last game. Navarian actually did the most damage. Not too surprised there. And then came Kaisa. Sorry, Drigo and Kaisa. Followed by Hawksworth and Jax, which I feel like, and he did the most damage on Hentai. Oh no, sorry, not on Hentai. Yeah, on Hentai Heaven. And then came Kraden, surprisingly. So he did more than Dan did, and a lot more than Odir and I guess Lulu's support, but Odir did very, very little. Even the Brom on Centurion Academy did more than the Odir on Hentai Heaven, which
it looked like Turtle was having a very hard time there on the Udyr, because it's one of those champs where you need to be in that perfect situation, I'd say, because and it looks like that last game, Centurion Academy had quite a good healing comp.
Like here's the thing, it's a very situational pick. You do great levels 1 to 4 or 1 to 6 or whatever, but then after that, because you lack mobility, because you lack that straight engage potential, unless you're burning flash and you're risking yourself dying. You're just not gonna do anything until later on, where you're at that point you're just 1v9ing. But obviously the game didn't get to that point ever.
So before we go into champ select, do you two have any predictions of what Hentai Haven or Centurion Academy might take out?
Sorry, Rock, you can go on first, actually.
I think we want to see again Hawksworth on something that has a bit of pressure in the early game and can do, I think, more of a team fighting style. I don't want to see him just roll down lane unless he's going to take TP, because it just doesn't work as a split push style if you're not taking the teleport. Those are the two things I want to see: either Hawksworth on something that's disgusting in team fight and he can get head on in lane because he was good at that and he can come to the team fights, or he takes the TP. Those are the two things I have for him. And if they do that, I think Hentai Haven can take this easily.
Hashi?
Hawksworth, I know very well. I think, Jack, even you know this, that Hawksworth plays Shen really well. He plays Shen as if he's a proper carry. And it kind of solves that problem of not having TP, I guess. Maybe I want to see that.
Carry Shen just
it's just disgusting, dude. He builds tanks so much damage. I do want to see, or too late to say that, but they didn't ban away the J4. Oh no, sorry though, they did ban the J4. That was something I wanted to see. Sorry, they didn't ban the Renekton Kaisar away. I don't
feel like it was any. I think the J4 was one of the more influential picks though, because it made such a great engage for them.
But it did get banned, so that's fair.
That's a very, very nice pick there for Turtle. Sejuani just got her buffs. And I think it's one of those champs that Turtle would probably be more, I don't want to say confident playing, but make more plays with compared to the Udyr. countered by a Gragas, looks like.
I like the Gragas. I think the Gragas is good because, especially in the early picks, if it's strong, because it can do so much. It can disengage, it can engage, it can, if you get ahead early, just be such a great skirmishing, sorry, not skirmishing, ganking jungler that can set the team ahead. It does so much for a team, and I think it's fantastic to pick early because this gives away very little in terms of what the team wants to do because the Braum is obviously going to rock with pretty much anything. You could go aggressive with it even if you pick the Lucian.
Oh, that's an interesting
Ooh.
pick. Vladimir. I suspect that might be a Vladimir top, actually.
That is what I want to see.
Oh, and that's a Karma support. Okay. So my opinion, like Jack said, Sejuani just got a massive facelift in terms of damage and tank. She's still tanky. It's just the early damage is like insane. You're legit a bruiser almost now. So definitely a lot more impact than Anadir, and I guess Gragas is an okay counter, but I feel like it just comes down to like a skill matchup. I still kind of take the Sejuani over the Gragas, just because of champion state right now. But Gragas can build AP, he can build tank. You can do whatever you like with him. He can even go top lane. That's for all we know.
Or even mid if Navarians are feeling particularly confident.
I see.
But yeah, it's just one of those champs that allows that flexibility.
And I guess Karma helps in that regard with like trying to help with the disengage, but I don't know how useful it's going to be. Vladimir is a good pick into stuff like ganking junglers like Gragas because he can just pull out of the engage. But right now, what I'm looking at is a Tristana Braum, and this just throws like this is just a PTSD.
Giving us flashbacks.
PTSD right there. Tristana right now is one of the best ADCs, if best. And they just gave that over to Trigger, who's supposedly one of their best performing members. Oh no! That's a bit of a questionable move from Penta. I think, but
yeah, I'm really happy to see this. Vladimir, a lot of the side of Centurion Academy are making it look like they think that's a mid lane, but if that's top lane, that's exactly what I wanted to see from Hawksworth.
Oh. If they didn't feel like that's a mid lane Vlad, they wouldn't have picked the Renekton. So I feel like they suspect it's a mid lane Vlad, because Renekton into Vlad isn't very
yeah.
Can't believe Renekton now. He plays it right, and it's Hawksworth, so he might be able to play it right.
Ooh.
The Yorick pick now, that'd be very interesting. Yorick is basically a lesser Jax in a way, but it still provides that insane split if they still want to play that game. And also, it's a bit like I want to even compare it to Nasus in the sense that just that tankiness and the damage with the Q coming out later on, especially earlier as well. If he rushes the Triforce, can provide a lot of damage top and split potential if they want to play that game.
Maiden as well. The Yorick Maiden also is some of the most annoying things in the game. It's a very annoying thing. You have to deal with a mini herald of its own.
Oh, I saw that Mordecai, so I was
like,
excited. I was like, is this gonna happen? Is that really gonna work with Vladimir? I don't know. I don't think it's particularly great. But then they do go back to that Orianna.
Thing is, it might. Jax is actually better at this than I am, but I feel like it could have been an okay matchup because they both heal. They're both AP. They're both very similar champs in terms of damage profile and statistics. But if Navarian's more comfortable on the Orianna versus Vlad matchup, why not pick it? The other thing is, it's also Orianna with Gragas and Renekton, so you have good ball delivery too, which is obviously
yeah,
it's
pretty key
to have. And the other thing is Crandon kind of showcased it last game. Potential if you're ahead. And if you're behind, you can peel. Obviously the shield's huge, so you can peel for your ADC. It's a really good. It fits really well in one of those protect the ADC, but also it's just great team fight overall. Great team fight. It brings a lot to the team fight. My bad.
Certainly does. And I think these team fights are certainly going to be very interesting. You've got the Vladimir diving in the back line. Sejuani, who can be a fantastic engage for the Sentinel Hive inside. And just Tristana dueling alongside the Braum passive against a lot of these players. it's going to be fascinating, especially when X-Trigger starts getting those resets. It can very much cascade in favor of Centurion Academy, but they need to find those first couple of kills, and that can be difficult with the Caitlyn, who is also at long range, and the Vladimir, who can survive through a lot of things, especially with the Sejuani as well, who has huge innate tankiness.
But I do want to point out again, just quickly, that it looks like Hentai Haven, like they've only gone with maybe 1-2 hard engages compared to Centurion Academy, which has again gone for like 3 or 4 of them who have like that really strong engage. I think that's going to be a very a key factor to take into this game going into it, because Tristana as well. I mean, followed by the Braum, she could jump in. Braum could jump onto her and cause quite a lot of disruption for the Hentai Haven bot lane.
But like I just realized that Hentai Haven also does have the like okay disengage. Vladimir can pull out. Karma can RE empowered shield, empowered shield everyone away, or I guess even empowered shield everyone in. That's an engager of its own. The massive shield, the massive AoE shield. Yorick can maybe W someone, like put a wall around someone that's gonna go in. There's potential of disengage, but again, I favor Centurion Academy's comp because Gragas disengages, Braum disengages, Oriana disengages. I think Centurion Academy has a more versatile comp, while Hentai Havens is more like, okay, yeah, we know our win condition is fights or 4-1. We will only do this, and we can do nothing else. I am gonna mention though, the Caitlyn versus Tristana matchup. Caitlyn should win early, but Tristana outranges Caitlyn, I believe, at level 13 or level 14 because of her passive. I guess the matchup. I guess it's just on who reaches the mid game or the late game stronger. So, another note about Braum Tristana. I just noticed that 100 Cobra just beat Checkmate Alpha in a 56-minute game with over 70 kills. That's a bloody game. Over 70 kills. Well, and their ADC gave them the same treatment they gave us. He went 18-3 and 19 on Tristana.
Right, and as we load into the game here now, boys, can we have some predictions? Who do you think is going to take this one?
You go first.
I think purely comp-wise, even if I predicted Hentai Haven to win, I feel like Centurion Academy got the better drop, so I'm predicting Centurion Academy this time around. I hate to be flip-flopping, but it seems a lot more possible, I guess.
I see where you're coming from. They had a great showing in the first game as well. But I do actually really like the comp in terms of, I like the Vladimir dive, Sejuani who can lock down targets. And following up with that, things like the trap from Caitlyn and the Yorick split push. I think Hawkworth is going to go into his lane and just run it down the top lane. I think this is actually quite good for them. He is hard committed to this, like never leaving lane style. And I think they can definitely take this. I believe in these guys. They've got this. I think Hentai Haven can take the second game, takes to a 3 game.
So we got one for Hentai Haven, one for CNA. I guess I'm the tiebreaker. I'm a similar boat with Harshy. I voted Hentai Haven to take this, and I really want to believe in them. But just off comp wise, again, I feel like CNA are gonna take this. But I do really want Hentai Haven to win. So I'm a bit like Harshy in this. I think CNA will take this one and make it 2-0.
So I'm gonna be the foil here.
Hey guys,
yeah.
you know what they say, yeah? You know what they say, yeah? Like great minds think alike. We feel like Hentai Haven can win. We feel like we want them to win, but again, CNA has the better, like he said, the better comp, better overall. They even have the momentum on their side right now, so that's a factor, big factor.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 is about to start of the CNA Hentai Haven series. And straight into a pause.
Come pause the league, boys.
League of pauses.
I am gonna notice right now. See, that's a really good like starting item choice from X Trigger, because you do want to go for the Shield versus the Karma, because the Karma and Caitlyn, because their poke is really good, their trades are good. It's just yeah, which is fine. Same thing with like obviously the very obvious relic sheet choice. What I don't like again is Ronnie taking the ancient point line. It's like it gives you overall it gives you like a bit more gold for doing less, just walking into their team, which actually could be pretty bad actually if you ask me versus a Braum Tristana lane. So like you maybe don't even want to go for the ancient coin line because it's kind of counterintuitive. But but here's like you go for the Spell Thieves one. You need that AP, that's the mana regen, that's important. It's much more important than move speed on Karma.
And especially if they want to get the maximum out of the Karma with the Caitlyn in the bot lane, I think Spell Thieves was definitely the way to go in terms of getting that poke and that damage, like you were saying. And I think that they will take the early lane, bot lane, but I think Drigger and Marco San, once they get a few items in them, they'll be able to start pushing them back, making some plays bot.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Karma is so mana hungry early. You need that mana regen from the Spell Thieves line. Going coin is just like kind of shooting yourself in the foot almost. The worst, but you are hitting yourself. Notice, yeah.
No, sorry, yeah, you go.
I was just saying, like, on the other hand, I do notice a very safe starting item choice from a reworked top laner. Knows he respects Hawksworth now. He really respects Hawksworth on Yorick as well, and I guess just all of like I guess top lane will be quite interesting to watch. That's the lane I really wanna focus on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be. I think it's particularly good because obviously going into this corrupting potion wants to get a lot of hits off, and that gives the opportunity to get the healing back on this Renekton. I do want to focus on potentially some of these keystones. How do you feel about the Predator on this Gragas?
Right, sorry, I completely missed the keystone choices. Actually,
I think it's a very strong, keystone to get. So it looks like he's going to be wanting to make these ganks a lot. He's not going to be playing very defensive. He looks to get either his bot lane or any of his lanes ahead. Especially with the Predators. He can come in fast. He can get out fast. I think that's because the style we're going to probably see here.
Gragas as a champion is kind of diverse. You can take stuff like Phase Rush, Aftershock, I don't know. So, actually, yeah, those are the only two that I can think of right now, and obviously Predator.
Electrocute as well, if you want to go for the burst.
Yeah, for the AP Gragas style, but like Predator is like the best choice. For Bedra, if last game was any indication, for Bedra is a very gank heavy jungler. He loves his ganks. He loves snowballing his lanes, and Predator gives you just the utility. You can expect him to try and make plays on that. On the other hand, I see just very standard rune choices across top lane, bot lane. All are cool. All are alright. Aftershock and Sedge, that's also okay. It's a lot better than that old like Fleet Footwork keystone choice, but I guess Fleet Footwork was changed a bit to not favor that. One thing I do find interesting though, one thing that I feel like I don't want to do on Tristana is take Fleet Footwork, because yeah, sure, it gives you early sustain. It helps you obviously in a Karma Caitlyn lane, but the reason like Tristana is so strong in lane nowadays is because that bomb after the PTA proc, the 3-hit passive proc. It's a lot of damage. It's like 100 damage extra, which early on can make just the difference in a fight.
And what do you think about the phase rush on the Vladimir, say, over the Electrocute? What do you think is your personal preference in that?
I mean, you're the mid laner here. you should probably.
Okay. Well, phase rush, like Rock was saying earlier, it enables the Vladimir to get into that back line, to like harass and then pull out. And that's the kind of playstyle we want to see coming from Kraden. But the electrocute, that gives more of like that solo potential in the mid lane. Try and get himself ahead, even potentially catching out people with with the Sejuani. I think it'll be quite interesting.
I think same like you said, electrocute a lot better like lane, like early fighting damage presence or whatever, lane presence I guess with electrocute, but phase rush helps you with kiting more bites like you said. The thing is that his summer spell choice, Kraden's summer spell choice with phase rush is a bit contradictory, because if you're phase rush and you're not planning to really like burst Navarian down, right? I'd rather take cleanse versus Gragas, Orianna, or Barrier maybe. I wouldn't wanna take ignite, not if it's not gonna help me so much.
I see what you mean there, but I think how it's how Orianna wants to play this coming into this lane. She's gone Barrier. So she's going to be looking to try and sustain herself more, rather than taking say an ignite or a teleport.
I think she's like sending a message. I don't care about you. I don't care about what you're gonna do, Toto. I don't like. You don't scare me, Toto.
You yikes!
Just as things are getting spicy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Hawksworth definitely asserting their dominance in this top lane. In rework, they are dueling quite a lot, but instantly Hawksworth DCs.
He's AFK, but he's still trading better than the.
I think off the basis of the yes, he's half health, but he's still got all of his corrupting pots up,
True.
I think he's also got the ignite, so we could be possibly looking at first blood here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right also, because they both got their conquerors up. He's also upper level. This is just like a good situation for him. He's down a bit. This could go either way, dude, to be fair. Like, it's about how the flash. I think the flash is going to be really important, because I expect them to both be used here.
Yeah,
sorry, go on.
I think that rework top lane is probably just going to look to flash either as soon as unpause or a couple of seconds after the unpause. Unless it looks like he's trying to hover around the minion wave, see if he can get the level 2. Because it looks like one of Hawksworth's minions is quite low and could possibly die, which could give him the level 2. But I think that's a bit too ambitious if he wants to play that way.
If you're as good as I Endeavor and Renekton, shout out to you, to main man I Endeavor. Anyway, sorry. If you're good at this, you can outplay this.
He left it too late. He left it way too late.
He's going down here. That is really unfortunate for rework.
That's down on Renekton and probably a TP. Oh no, he's walking to lane.
Oh, he's going to use the TP. I think he has to in this scenario. He's down a lot of CS already, and it's only the early game, so I don't think too much will be happening around the map. So I think that's quite a safe TP for him to take.
I mean, although if he does manage to push in, it makes Turtle's job a lot easier of camping top and just making sure Hawks just runs all down top lane. Oh, that's a good play.
Could he be utilizing the Sejuani buffs?
Ooh.
Certainly is, getting a lot of damage here onto Forbedra. Forces out of
Clash 2. That's a very...
Still be in trouble though.
No, Total stayed away too long. Oh, okay, Hawks is round. You see, they're burning flashes. They burn flash on Vlad. Takes away a bit of the diving potential, but also takes away a bit of Vlad's safety. At the same time, they also did take out for Bedra's engage potential, because that flash is so important on Gragas sometimes. The E flash combo, the E flash to R flash, whatever.
Yeah,
sorry, flash R, my bad. It's like things like this would just make the difference. But right now, like I said, jungle for mid flash, it's okay, it's not the worst.
And that's Hawks moving up, saying, "Stay away from this. This is my lane now."
Get out of my.
ignores the minions, goes straight for the Renekton.
I mean, it's fair because the Renekton doesn't have flash. He can't. If you do damage him enough, like he can't just flash away from it. And while Turtle does have flash, that's the thing. So Turtle actually has like the better pressure right now, just because he has flash and he can probably look for ganks and stuff. For Bedro's job just got a lot harder, but the worst. Early boots coming out as well.
Looks like Sejuani's doing a Raptors now. Might be looking to look for a mid, possibly.
Possibly. First Drake spawned is Cloud Drake. That's a Cloud Drake, right? Yeah, that's a Cloud Drake. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So the first Drake spawned is a Cloud Drake, and Cloud Drakes are kind of okay early game. So first, like, hey man, you get the win, you take it.
Yeah, I mean, the value is always useful. Fox doing a lot of damage back. I really like how this top lane is going. There's a lot of fighting going on, and they're trying to keep each other close. And this is making for a really exciting fight.
They're both quite lane bullies as well, especially Renekton. So yeah, they're trying to constantly bully each other. You know, Renekton dashing in, dashing out, but you know, you're getting the trades off of this E. You're getting his minions to jump on him.
I mean, both top laners are well-known carries, well-known. Oh, that's trigger. That's trigger.
Really quite aggressive. Here is some forced flashes from everyone in the bot lane. Well, sorry, everyone on the side of Haven in that bot lane.
Teal down too. Like this still opens up like time for not open time. Sorry, windows for repeat ganks up in mid lane and bot lane now for the Gragas, provided he does take advantage of that. Outside of that gank though, I must say, like I feel like Trigger and Marcus aren't really playing this whale with this lane as well as they possibly could. Seeing as though they're not exactly getting down, the kind of stuff you expect to see from a Braum Tristana lane. On the other hand, Theon and
Whoa, what is he doing?
He's getting really aggressive here. Has to dash out. The Ignite is on him. Minions are autoing, and that's a really failed dive. Might escape.
I think that was a little bit question mark, but it looks like he might actually get escape here unless Kraden. No, I think Kraden's gonna be.
No, that's not the way you go.
Oh wait, actually, it looks like he might get out.
Yeah, no, stops for a while, but
taking that, he shouldn't have taken that front. This just means he. Oh no. How much early?
He's gonna get out.
Oh my god.
Oh, that is incredibly lucky.
Yeah, but still,
incredibly.
It's great that he burnt summoners from Hawksworth, but at the same time, I feel like that's a bit of coming out, but not much. You burn Flash for, I guess Flash for Flash is okay, but it's also an ult for nothing. It's ult and Flash for nothing. I think what I feel like Rework top laner probably did was he probably miscalculated how, like, when he's gonna hit 6. He thought he was gonna hit 6 at that very moment. I imagine.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Have a look at his XP actually. Yeah, he's really close to leveling up. I think
yeah. That was
looks like all of Haven's flashes are down at the moment. Kraden's just about to come back up.
And for Bedros is about to just come back up. That's important because now he can actually look for ganks and stuff. No, that's a fire.
Can Hawksworth look to do anything here?
The maiden is there. Could look for this. He's out for Bedro. What the heck?
What?
Very close.
This is just. Hawksworth is so good at turning around 2v1 situations.
If that's already how those 2v1s are going to go, then it's going to look like Hawks can just get to that point where he will be able to sit top, no matter, not worrying about whether he comes or not, because it looks like he can get to that point where he can 2v1. That was very close.
Flash up? Why? That's a waste. That's a near waste because you're just giving Yorick, a snowball champion, the ability to snowball.
Yeah, but you got to look now. Renekton is,
Oh, there's something going up top there. Oh, there's something going down bot lane too.
Things going on everywhere. The stun onto Potato, looking for that loss. The Ignite will pick on through. There's another kill in that. Well, the first kill in that bot.
Well, they woke up, bot lane woke up. You see, that's completely expected because they knew that Karma didn't have flash. They knew that Caitlyn didn't have heal. So there's no way of them really getting out now, is there? This is why I say I don't like this. champions like Janna, Lulu, Karma into champions like Braum that can just take advantage of your mobility.
Also, can I point out that this is the first time Cadden has backed 10 minutes, coming in almost with the full item. So that's going to be very beneficial for him, especially against, as of Vlad against an Orianna. That's going to be so good for him.
I feel like was it Truarcy? I can't remember now who their coach was, Henta Havens, but he's actually going for he went for Lost Chapter and definitely an early Ludens Echo rush this time, which I think is the right thing to do. You go for, sorry.
So
another thing to note. No. Thank God. Another thing to note: stopwatches have just come out. This takes away the Vlad Sedge ability to like dive to the Orianna. Orianna is just super safe now. Same thing with I guess Gragas won't really get drove because jungle, but it enables for there's just that extra safety that you get from having a stopwatch, a free stopwatch. And I actually just did notice that though. Total is 22 CS up on for Bedra. That's what? That's nearly 6 camps. Sorry, no. Yeah, that is nearly 6. That is nearly 6 camps up, and that's actually like a good. That's actually a good like. Want that advantage as such over the Gragas, so that the Gragas doesn't like get to do too much around the map like he tried, top lane and bot lane as well.
And it looks like Anti-Heaven are securing that river vision. It looks like they got pretty much all of bot side warded up. Not much the top side, but it's certainly more than Centurion Academy have got. They need to start pushing that vision. Also, just saying that Orianna got a pretty nice deep ward there.
It's fair because that Gragas is bot side, so you do want to keep the river water in case. But
oh my God, this is so aggressive, Trigger.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh, and that might be a dead Orianna as well.
Yeah, no, it certainly looks like it.
You see, oh, he should have left that kill. That was where you leave the kill for the Vlad, so that he can actually finish his proto belt. Vlad with an early proto belt, he kills spikes earlier than he does with Spellbinder, and it's overall just like a tankier build overall, and just so much more utility. And it even gives you wave clear. He should have left that for him. It's not the worst.
But it's nice that they got the tank.
That's true. That's true. It is really nice that they got to do a strong kill. It means that the goal is still even though they kind of killed Dan. I just noticed. I must say though, the bot lane isn't focused like. So you have your river warded, but how does Gragas still get to come in? It's because Marco-san has a pink ward placed in that river bush that their bot that Torado or Pionmi should have checked together before. Or even if not that, even if you're not gonna do that, at least if you're gonna push in the Tusana Braum so much, get a ward
flash.
That 2v1. That's nearly expected.
Yeah. So.
But the point I was trying to make earlier was just that get a ward on their bleed. Oh, okay.
That is going to be Trigger continuing to jump on in. He will manage to just about survive, but Trigger with some very aggressive dives with his team does.
I'm not gonna lie. That would have been a kill if Marcus-san played that better. Actually, Marcus-san I think actually just kind of messed that up for them. If he had he landed the ult, had he landed that extra Q, that would have been it. It's okay, like it's not the worst. They got some damage down on Caitlyn. Oh, that's a great
Herald trigger for Dragon.
Herald for Dragon. It's alright. It means both teams can stay in like full parity within each other.
I still think I prefer the Rift Herald over the Dragon. That's gonna give the Centurion Academy a lot more split punch.
Yeah, for sure.
As well. And Cloud is one of those Drakes which, like, yes, it might be better early, but as later it goes, it sort of might become more of one of those irrelevant.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. And plus that Herald, that Tractor you get from having a Herald, difference because you're getting the first tower down. If you use it on tier 1, assuming you do. She with the tier 2, but it's super useful. It's just, yeah, like I said, just, brings you closer to the Nexus, I guess. But aside from that, something that I'm starting to find, like, aside from jungle, something that I'm starting to find that was different from last game, something that I feel like actually Centurion Academy, in some sense, and Hentai Heaven in some sense, really improved on is the parity in the CS. All lanes are very close to each other. No one's really like hard out farming the other.
Oh, jungle though.
Except jungle, yeah. In the lanes, I mean, yeah. Except jungle, no one is. Oh, Kraden's going in. That's actually really good focus from Kraden. I'm not gonna lie.
Very aggressive plays.
Yeah,
That might have
goes
cost
out.
I think
might have cost them.
I think it did cost them because now it means that Gragas is around. Gragas can place the Herald because of the man advantage. They can get possibly a first tower. Yeah. Tower plating is gone too, so that's that for them. You see, just that sorry, I just noticed like I think Kraden had the right idea there. He did well going for the Tristana. It's just he just went a little too early.
Yeah.
He had very little follow to his engage.
But I think he can start to afford to do that if he's going to go for a Zonya build. He can definitely afford to do that a lot more though as we go later on into the game. And I think that could be a very deciding factor in fights.
Yes, you just want to do that when you know you have the follow up for it. You need to be on the same page with your team when you do it. Granted, he's not their main mid. I still think that if you know he was playing and you've scrimmed with him, that's exactly what you want to do. Like you want to make sure you kind of want to make sure he's not really like playing in without anyone else's knowledge or like no one can react in time.
I like how Renekton's sort of keeping up with the Yorick. In a sense, he's still a level up on him now. Got just one CS more.
Oh, I actually just noticed. He went. That's dance exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
Why would you sacrifice that push pressure?
Very good ult coming in. Can they secure a kill?
Oh! Sneaks around the back and full back.
Curve the bullet, wanted style.
That's well played. That was very well played.
That's massive for Kaden.
Turtle and Theon made both of them. Like, honestly, like, get out of that. Get a double kill on the bot lane that was, kind of beating you all this time. Get a first turret as well. Perfect. You see, this is kind of where not pushing that last wave in or that last turret in mid, like, trying to get that last push in mid turret kind of bites you in the ass, like if you're Centurion, because now you just gave Anti-Heaven.
And now it's gotten to that point where Rift Herald didn't even matter anymore. They got the first tower and they have the Drake. So this is starting to shape up into more of Hentai Haven's game, and if they can keep this up, kind of looking to go in for a solo kill.
Oh, I even just noticed Mountain Drake's up next. This is perfect. This is really good if you have bot lane and mid lane control for Hentai Heaven, because it scales, right? Right now it might not be that great, but it scales, and when you have one Mountain Drake, even 2, 3, your damage on the Baron and all. It's super great.
Oh!
Oh no.
Helps him.
No, they could have.
Helps him go to the tower.
Exactly. Oh, you see, the Death's Dance first build is great if you're planning to only for the 1v1s and match, the healing Renekton gets. But you also just don't want to do that. You want to go for the Triforce, so you have.
Another very good flash from Gragas there, securing the kill for Renekton. Now I think it's going to get to the point where Renekton is going to probably start to out. I can't remember.
Out duel.
Yeah, that's the one. The Yorick could potentially stop that split push.
It's a tower for Drake right here, which I think is okay. Which I think is like, this is a It's just on whether or not Hentai Haven can make use of that Drake. Otherwise it's useless. The Mountain Drake and not be able to take any objectives with it. Oh, that's a great engage. But the team
look at Grax and Oriana though. Cradden!
Oh,
back from the very nice dance.
Cradden.
Oh, that's a very late out.
yeah.
I think that was Hentai Haven's fight to win. Actually, it was just the same problem as before. Hentai Haven Total went in too early, and the follow came in a little too late. Had they had the Nectar, the Yorikin and the on top of the Sejuani ult, and obviously the Vlad ult increases damage taken. Bombos coming in, you would have won that fight easily. They do lose some health on their second tier mid turret right now. It's not the worst because it's not down yet. Hentai Haven is kind of in that state where you kind of go down but not out because they can still win this.
They certainly can. I mean, we've seen that from dives coming from Cradden and stuff like that. They do have a lot of damage. They just need to find the right engagement turtle.
You need to coordinate that engage. Honestly, all these fights were stuff that Hentai Haven could have won because they just have such good CC lockdown AOE. It's just bad execution.
Oh, that could be very risky. Caitlyn going in for that shot there.
If Marco-san was any quicker, he could have capitalized on that, and that would have been good. But that's alright. It's not.
Second item GA for the Renekton.
That's a bit questionable. That's a little questionable because GA gives you the utility of literally giving you a second life, but you also take a bit of hit. You don't do as much damage as you would if you had a Sterak's gauge or a
that's a beautiful way to fight Trigger, unloading so much damage there, picking off those two players. Carrot, they're going to turn on to Baron.
That is not what you want.
Krogus as well. Good on Krogus and Braum as well, because they actually got the lockdown. Good lockdown.
Being Hentai Haven, this is not what they want. They need to keep, they're too split up all the time. And I think that's what's costing them at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless Craddock can look to do something here, and that's going to be a Baron over to CNA.
No. At this point, if I'm a player on Hentai Haven, what do I want to do? Jack, Rock, what do you guys think?
If I'm on Hentai Heaven now...
Not be where Trigger is.
Oh no, that's good for Hentai Heaven.
Capitalize off of those...
Oh wait, sorry, yeah.
Those missteps there, Trigger, it was so out of position there. If they reacted that much faster, they could have potentially even killed him there. And that's exactly what they need to do now. They need to play off these picks. They need to play more as a team, I feel. They're too split apart. Yorick's is in the top lane now, whilst, CNA are...
The thing. The
that's
comp is a little bit mismatched.
But man, here's the thing, yeah? That's been the story of this whole mid game. It's one person goes in, finds a really good engage, but there's no follow to it. Haven falls down one by one. Why? When you know you're doing so much damage and you can and the other team isn't playing perfectly, Trigger's just free hitting off lockdown and stuff, but he's not really doing anything great.
And then right there's a primary example of what we were just talking about.
Yeah. Right. And that too, this was the other point I was actually gonna come across. If I'm Hentai Haven, my opinion is that just maintain vision, maintain some vision in your jungle, maintain safe zones, try not to run into them directly. If you group up, stay around each other. TP, so if there's a fight, if you get engaged on those 4 Hawks, and you're done for. Right now too, this is so perfect for Centurion Economy. They know that you're to top. They know that they should probably look for an advantageous fight or a Drake like they are right now.
If I was CNA, Now though, I think that they should have, I think, maybe gone for a bit more pressure of tower pressure, because they know Yorick's top, they know he doesn't have TP, but now it's good. They've decided they got the dragon. Renekton's gone top, stopping that split push. 2 levels up on him. This is massive for him.
This is like a split pusher battle, right? The one with the advantage always wins, almost always, unless of course someone like messes up. But you know what I mean. The pressure, like you mentioned, Jack, like they are doing it right now. They're just protecting that Baron of cannon minion.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Banner of Command.
I know, right?
Oh, and Hawksworth goes again for the 3rd time, I believe.
Yeah, that was the 3rd time. That's the 3rd time. You know, if I'm Hentai Heaven right now, right here, I'd talk about what I want to do right now.
Mm.
For
me,
I guess we have 2 minutes behind, but like
yeah.
just talk about like how you're actually gonna play this out, because just know that you guys can do something. Just make sure you know your safe zones and you're not like running into them one by one. Look for like a coordinated team fight. Look for something where you guys are on Tristana. You guys aren't getting caught out by that the Oriana ult and the Caitlyn, keeping her away from the Renekton. Just if you can just pull it off like a one good front to back fight, you can win. You can win. You're still down, but you're not out yet. If you're Hentai-Haven, of course.
Yeah, and I think what they need to do is just get onto that Tristana, like you were saying. But if you're CNA, you want to protect that Tristana. Likewise, that's their win conditions for both revolving around Tristana.
You see, Centurion Academy. Marco-san has an important job at this point. Like, just keep away from the possible Yorick, the possible Vladimir, and just try and like make sure Jigga's like safe, like into anyone. On the other hand, you can also the other thing you can also try and do is like see if you can get an engage down on Caitlyn. See if you can get a pick earlier beforehand. Hey, we're back in the game.
Oh, it looks like they've gone into a 1v1 formation now. Renekton's on a bot. If Hentai-Haven wants to do something, now needs to be the time mid.
Like this is the most perfect time you're ever gonna get. That's the sad part. Their only engage is Sejuani, who is moving down bot.
But so is the rest of CNA, so...
That's true, that is true.
Looks like a fight could break out.
Oh, no.
Speak of the devil.
Damn. Oh, Yorick is actually doing a really good job of keeping Renekton busy, so that he doesn't TP.
Oh, flash come out from Dan and Trigger.
Oh, that was actually well played from all sides. Just, like I said...
Oh, wait! 2 levels down. That's the power of the Maiden right there.
Yeah. Oh, Hawksworth.
Wow, that's massive for Yorick.
Hentai-Haven utilizing the power of their best girl.
Yeah, and he even got a massive shutdown. Like, see, he's even gonna get his Triforce now. This is what we want to see out of Hentai-Haven. This is what we want to see out of actually Hawksworth more than Hentai-Haven.
Yeah. Down but not out.
Exactly, down but not out. I just realized that there's 2 Sonyas on the side of Centurion Academy. It also seems like a semi-AP progress. Yo, if you can make these fights work AoE style, you win this game easily. It just depends on Hentai-Haven more than Centurion Academy at this point. Like, if you ask me, even though Centurion Academy is ahead, and like obviously it should be on them to end the game. Hentai-Haven's the one that should be like making all those like.
Yeah.
Now what I want to see is that vision control around Baron now for Hentai-Haven.
Yeah.
If they could secure that Baron, because they got the mountain as well. Oh, rip.
Oh, okay, that's another bug splat. Oh, I was just gonna mention though, Karma actually got Ardent Sense this time, which is great because Caitlyn can use it. It's just she's only on 1 item as opposed to 2 items from the Dome. Again, that comes down to the ancient coin line, like line choice that I keep I am for. It's just a bad choice. You're just kind of stuck with like tier 1 boots. 27 minutes in.
Yeah, I was about to say, Harsha, he's cosplaying you. Impress.
Hey, Impress, if you're listening, I'm not the one letting you down this time. You see, like this is a mistake I used to make before, but you know, obviously, like when you're just trying to finish your ardent sensor and you've gone for the wrong like gold income choice, and what you get 27 minutes in tier 1 boots. Same thing with Yorick actually.
Mm.
But it's not the worst. I mean, the Yorick at least doesn't really that is he like he's just killing the Renekton.
And even still, without tier 2 boots, he's incredibly strong, incredibly tanky.
Also, I must mention this is actually where rework top laners like item choices. This is where they come back to bite him in the ass. GA, like I said, doesn't give you that dueling potential. It lets you jump into a fight, but if the other guy's like so much stronger than you are, that GA is not useful because he's just gonna kill you after the GA. You know, the GA makes you has you respawn. So now what?
I think
Get a
it's
Starax.
Oh.
You know, get maybe a lethality item if you're feeling like it, but just get some more dueling power in. Otherwise that Yorick's just gonna keep running you over.
Yeah, I mean, the Yorick certainly does have a lot of threat pushing that sideline. Obviously very strong, managed to take down the Renekton even though he was behind him. And I think having that pressure in the top lane really helps them relieve a lot of the attempt to kind of put vision down around Baron. They really need to deal with Hox before they do that.
It's quite smart coming in from CNA now, clearing the vision, securing that vision. This is something that I feel like Hentai Haven should have prioritized more. I know, even though it is quite hard for them to do so, you know, all the waves pushing into them. But Tristana is top now, and they can see that, so if they want to, they should try and look to capitalize on this. So Sejuani's bots, she should be starting to head mid whilst they know Tristana's top. Trying to look for that engage.
The fact that Turtle isn't here, that only engage, is a huge mistake. They can't capitalize upon this. It needs to be with the team now.
Hell, the Tristana is even closer than the. Actually, no, not anymore. I guess the Sedge is moving up. This is bad. This is a very wrong move. Like you want to send the guard down there. You want to send someone that can farm down there. Don't send the Sedge. Sedge is important to be engaged. No one else is.
And they're not even punishing this. They're not getting the engage. This is just Tristana getting away with a split push.
Oof.
Oh my.
Now, I'm going to quickly point out that Hentai Haven only have 4 minutes until they have to forfeit the match technically.
Yeah, technically.
But I don't know if there's going to be like any leniency towards that at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, it depends on whether players have stuff going on.
We're going to have to go over to our producers, ask our producers for that information.
Hey, producers, what's up?
Admins, what's the rules?
while we're in a pause, I will take you like okay. So first thing I was just gonna say, Sedge actually has no one except for Yorick that can actually proc passive. You know, the passive stacks. It's only Yorick, so in a fight, it's literally all on Sejuani to get those stuns down. Because while the other three, Vladimir, Caitlyn, and Karma, have no CC. I see. The other thing I was just gonna say, like right.
Take 6, says Cradden, as Hox reconnects.
Okay. So I just found out that from our production, after using 15 minutes of pause, the team has to continue playing the game and are not allowed to pause anymore. The team is allowed to ask the enemy team to reschedule, but they're allowed to deny it. So like, you know.
And I think that's what.
Yeah.
I think that's what they would do.
Yeah, and if the other team pauses again, they're disqualified.
Really? Wait, no. If the other team pauses for them.
No. It's the team which caused the pauses until the 15 minutes. team will get qualified.
Oh, and it's like
The other team is still allowed to force, I'm pretty sure.
ooh, I do like how York is splitting, even though I think what they need to look for now is to steal, or just to get them off of it. Because if Hawksworth can get this push in, then they'll be really beneficial if they all live in the Baron pit.
Exactly. I think they know and they respect the fact that Centurion Academy has great turns.
They're looking for the steal! He manages to...
This could be it! This could be it!
This is looking like it could be a turn. They're just taking them all down.
Double kill.
Down but not out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, this is
Turtle,
exciting.
you're actually a beast, Turtle. Like, my god, dude. Like, you're doing good. You're doing God's work for him to have right now, dude. You and Hawk.
And that's where the York split push right there, that was perfect for them, in that perfect case scenario. Now they probably might even be able to end it.
I feel like maybe it only depends on how fast like they can push.
They've got the wave, they have the Maiden, they have the Baron buff, they have Demolish.
You're right, yes. This looks like an end.
Unbelievable! Hentai Haven turning it around in the last minute!
Dude! Holy crap!
Oh.
Hentai Haven, what just happened?
MVP to Turtle for me, right there.
I mean, we can't even choose the MVP until the end of the series, right? So,
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh yeah, no, I know. For that, just for that little bit there.
so yeah, I agree. The fact that he just hard saved that game.
Oh my god! Now we're gonna go to a blind pick.
Oh, these game rules are quite okay. So they've been a bit controversial, but these are actually quite fun to watch, in my opinion. And even more fun to cast, I guess.
Oh my god! League of Throws, ladies and gentlemen. Well played to Hentai Haven there, seizing that opportunity.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest turns I've ever seen in my life. That was just, they were down, they were getting sieged, went to Baron, and just everything went wrong for the side of Centurion Academy, and they just fell apart at the seams.
On the crucial moment as well.
Very crucial moment. I'm just looking over the damage graph, yeah? The Tristana did the most damage. Just imagine, you have such a fed Tristana in the game and you still lose. Then obviously comes the Vlad. Great performance by Kraden, by the way. I don't think we mentioned him too much, like past like 20 or so minutes, but he did a lot of damage. He contributed to like the AoE burst. Again, and obviously props to Hawksworth as well for doing his part and like keeping the Renekton down. And yeah, and that's pretty much like those are like the top three like sticking damage graphs that kind of stand out to me. Everyone else was like alright, but again, damage is not everything. Impact wise, again, I'd give that to Turtle. Turtle did so well. Drigger was doing alright. It was just but it was really just Turtle and Hawks just.
Oh, the Hentai Haven dream. Well done, Rock, for correctly predicting the outcome of that game.
Yeah,
That's a good
it didn't happen exactly like that. That was just absolutely absurd that they managed to pull it back. I mean, the comp was cool. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. It was interesting.
Honestly, like Hentai haven't won that straight up of the Turtle Hawks duo. And I've said this before. I've been very vocal about this. That duo must be one of the best duos in VL right now. Like they're Hentai having so great.
Anyway, we are going to go to a quick break before this game 3. So we will see you in just a second for the third and final blind pick match between Hentai Haven and Centurion Academy.
Keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? Keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know we do straight up. Keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? It's not a myth, like we've been told. This life we live can be our own. There's more to gain than battle scars. It's time to make forever ours. Make it ours. We are living legends. We'll see our stories written in every constellation. We are living legends. We are living legends. We are living legends. It's not enough that history will remember us. We'll rise above, nothing to gain if we don't try. We will be heroes.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Shell 2 we are at an intense Game 3 situation between Hensai Haven and Centurion Academy. It was all looking very good for Centurion Academy. They were 1-0 up. They were doing very well in the second game. But a pause into Get Body true combo from Hensai Haven has now meant that we are staring down a Game 3. And it's looking scarily like that big game that happened last week between Centurion and Hensai Haven, where Hensai Haven, they will just scrape game 1 and then they stumped game 2. I'm scared for a repeat here. Trigger's not going to be looking forward to it, but I feel like if they can reset their mental, something that Centurion I haven't seen from them yet, if they can reset their mental, get them ahead of the game, play like they have game 1 and game 2, they should be able to pull this one out. Also, yeah, I'm Hashi and Kishuri here too. How you guys doing?
Oh, thanks.
Wait, you're not wrong.
Doing good. Hey, what have you done with him?
Where's Rock and Roll? What have you done?
Oh, well, essentially, after ascending to having all my team's deaths in one of my games, I thought, you know what? I mean, it's so hard. I clipped back to the top of the ladder, and I knocked Rook off the track, like the whole cast. So yeah, it's all good.
All right. That's a very interesting story, but what's more interesting, actually, like aside from everything else, is
No, Hashi, please tell us.
So we're looking at right now is the new format for game 3s. As everyone over here knows, that's a best of 3, and it's a new format for best of 3s that the admins are testing out with Shell 2. May or may not be there in the regular split, but it's basically the old LC of game 3s where last games, game 5s, where you have a blind pick. The only differences are that the team captains will message Impress or any admin in charge their comp, and it's already pre-prepared. That's the thing, we don't know it, we haven't seen it for ourselves. But so only the team and only the admins know what's being picked here, and if in case two teams pick the same champion, that champion's out of the race, or I guess you're not allowed to pick as banned. Opens up for some very interesting possibilities on what you can choose. And choose not to have, because if you risk picking away something else from someone else, it means that you might actually have to play it. But that said, we're in Champ Select. Currently Darius, Sejuani, Lux, and Jackson Zalgalio.
What I see right here from Hensai Haven, I heard a lot about Turtle Zinzhao as pretty good. I mean, Hox and Turtle have been kind of branded as the big star players on Hensai Haven, being a very strong top side. However, I have to admit, we were top laner. He's a very good carry player, and unlike Darius, I could see him doing work on the Jax. However, Kraden has this signature Galio. He loves that pick, and he's going to be able to make plays both bot side and top side with that. So CNA really need to be careful about how they aggress onto the side of Hensai Haven with that pick available.
And I think the other 2 games, Galio's been banned out, so now I think Kraden's going to fully unleash what he's probably been desperately wanting to play. And Sivir coming in, pick for Dan. I know that's been banned out. I know last game it was. I don't know about first game, so I don't know if that's his go-to pick. Looks at it as the sound of things.
Donk player, but actually Sivir was Draco's choice of champion. But it was banned in the first 2 games, and this time.
Oh, okay.
This time, yeah, but this time they chose to this time instead of I have never seen Pionmi play Sivir, so I imagine they probably did this to take the Sivir away from Drago, but now they're kind of stuck playing with it. As far as I'm aware, from our production team, thanks Mr. Police. Yeah, thanks to them, we know that there were no because no one picked over each other. I will say right now though, the comps on both sides look fairly decent. They both have a certain thing in mind. What I feel like happened is for Bedra, I have never seen for Bedra play Sejuani. I don't have much info on the guy, but I feel like he might have picked that to take it away from Turtle, because seeing that Turtle did just so well last game. and the Darius top is very obviously like because it was banned the first two games again. Hawksworth and Jax again. We know what Hawksworth can do. Seeing from plays it right this time. He plays it like without throwing his lead. He could be so scary to play versus. Navarians on Lux, like in game one. Drigos on Kai'Sa, like in game one. Marcus on, I feel bad for this guy, man. He's had three Brom games in a row.
I mean, if it works, why change it?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Like he wasn't even the problem second game, so like I definitely think it works. Overall, I feel like they have such a good like team fight. No, sorry, not team fight. Sorry, 4-1, and also a bit of team fighting comp because you obviously have the insane backline damage coming from Kai'Sa, while and Lux obviously has her CC, and the thing I like about Lux is that she reaches both frontline and backline with her ult without having to really put herself at too much of a risk, which is why I like the Lux pick. Sejuani, great lockdown, CC, great peel again, and Darius is obviously like a monster up top.
Yeah, the one problem with Lux pick, Lux isn't exactly the most mobile champion. You look on the other side of the rift, I see mobility. I see a Sivir, I see a Karma. They're going to speed people up incredibly fast. And if you do not want to be a Lux, let's say you get a really cool binder, you're going for the combo, and out of nowhere you see a Xin or a Jax running at you at a million miles an hour, and you're screwed because you're locked into throwing out a note or something. That's something that Undervariant really needs to be careful of, because Hensai Haven have a very good comp at roaming around the map really fast and getting those picks. Problem that Hensai Haven are going to have is that their comp across the board, I would say, is very heavy on the scaling. Jax in the late game is split push monster. Galio, while does have early pressure and is able to ult around, isn't known as a huge big problem. And then Sivir Karma, I mean, suppose Karma and Sivir have good poke. Sivir once again create ADC. However, on the other side, Darius for rework top laner, I'm expecting him to go against Hawksworth, and he's going to be looking to win this lane. Thing is, Hawksworth has took the Ignite, and rework top lane has took the Teleport. That could swing the lane, and that could mean that Hawksworth comes out on top with Turtle coming down and trying to gank.
Well, we have seen through previous games, although Hawksworth has taken this Ignite, rework top lane has managed, especially in the last game, has managed to turn it around in a sense. So whether he can do it or not this game, especially as Darius, who's like a very, one of those champions that can easily handle himself in the lane. So it'll be quite interesting to see how that pans out.
Something that I actually do want to point out actually is this like the really nice synergy that you have with Galio, Zinzao, and Jax. It's like,
oh yeah,
okay, fine, jumped in. Here's the thing: Galio right now is an A to S tier mid laner because yeah, sure, he's an AP bruiser. He just does so much damage. Plus he's tanky, and the most important thing is that ult is just so useful, especially when you have someone like Jax or Zinzao that's just gonna jump into the team. It's just like free knockups for the Galio, from the Galio, sorry, and that obviously disrupts the fight and it lets Sivir do. The Karma also is really nice actually. This is where I would like a Karma, because you're going for an AC that has no mobility, very short auto attack range, needs the peel. You need to be peeling for her. You have the Galio to try and peel for her. You have a front line. You have a decent like bruiser, tanky front line. This is where you keep the Karma in because Karma, Ardent Sensors, but most importantly, gives a speed up to accompany Sivir speed up, and also gives you like shields and like tons of peel that Sivir really needs.
Right, and as we are loading into the third and final game of the CNA Hentai Haven series, what are your predictions for the final time?
Well, I am going to go ahead and say Hentai Haven because of this incredible stat. Every single team that has won round one has also run round two. The only match that hasn't finished is this one. And I believe in my stats, so I'm going with Hensai Haven. I also really like their comps, so even if they don't win, it's going to be like one hell of a game to watch of them running around the map with Galio ults and Sivir ults and Karma speeding everyone up. It's going to be fun, but I'm going to go Hensai Haven. I think they're going to take advantage of Centurion, maybe getting a little bit to it after last game, and they're going to do incredibly well this game.
I'd say Hentai Haven again, same because of the start. Yeah, same like I'm kind of rooting for Hentai Haven somewhat because I want to see the streak going with I won the first round and moving on to the second round. Jack?
Now, again at this. Okay, no. I'm not going to debate. Hence, I Haven. I want them to win.
But where's your bot? Where's your bot?
My bet was that it all depends on how well Darius and Lux do. I think Lux is going to have a very easy lane because she can just poke down the Galio so much. But then again, it comes back to that mobility thing. But if Kraden can get onto the Lux, then she's either going to get chunked out or she'll die.
Yeah, the way you're going to see that lane matchup go is Lux has the poke, Galio has the ult. If Turtle does end up coming mid and Galio gets a good engage off, Navarian's gone. However, if Navarian can make sure that Kraden's constantly on like the middle health bar, like he's only sat on like half health, it's going to be very hard for him to make those roaming plays without not only losing a lot mid with pushes, but also losing a lot in terms of your ulting in half health, you could very well die. It's on Navarian to just poke out Kraden, make sure he can't do much, but balance it between not going too far and then getting caught and dying.
That level 1 could have done so well if Marcus Son and for Pedro acted quicker.
I don't think it's the fact that them acting quicker. It's just that Hawksworth moved out of the way just in time, as did Kraden. I think in their respect, that was very well timed by them to negate that invade.
It's interesting level 1, so I guess it works. I think if they saw all of them there, time for Hentai having to place a ward in Centurion Academy's red side jungle, but I don't know. They didn't.
League of pauses.
Exhaust. Okay.
Not on the side of Hentai Haven this time round.
Oh no, yeah. An interesting thing to note. While we're still here and the game hasn't really started, Team Elite beat Vivid Reality 2-0, and the second game was 42 minutes long. Lordio managed to pull out the very first Nico in BL, officially, in an official. Hey man, big up Ryan. Yeah, let's get back to this game. And CMA, 100C did beat CMA and Revival did beat Polite Execution, but I don't have much stats on those games, so.
Well, I can inform you on the CMA 100C game. Don't you worry. We had like a 55-minute game 1. 100 Cobra were down to half a Nexus in that game, but brought it back somehow, and then game 2 we did a very, very good game. But,
congrats, man, honestly.
Yeah, and then Revival Play Execution, I believe the game 2 was incredibly close. I think the Play Execution had a good like 6-2, 7-2 Lucian, and they were still doing really well. And I think they just had a really bad Baron fight and that lost in the second game, which was unfortunate.
That's actually very unlucky.
What's that?
Yeah, we're looking at right now. Turtle's doing very good, getting that Scott on the bot side. He might look to try and engage, but I think he's going to spot it out there. That's going to be great news for Bedre, because now that he knows that Zinja has bot side, he's very safe being top side. He knows he's really comfortable. He could even look for a gank top side if he's feeling up to it, but I feel like he's just going to go back and clear his side.
He is a camp down, am I right? He is a camp down. Oh, no. He got the top side scuttle. Oh, there seems to be some sort of like confrontation between the junglers and top laners now.
Yeah, I mean, that you're seeing the power of Galio right now, whilst Navarian's trying to poke down Kraden. Not only does Galio have innate tankiness and a magic shield, he also has great ultimate potential. So whenever Navarian goes in to try and get an auto, to try and get a Q, it's very easy to punish him when he's out of tower. And even then, as soon as you fire an ability, you get hit with a Winds of War. And Winds of War, right now, it does a lot of damage. You've got to be careful of that.
I don't know how I feel about the Dark Souls start.
I think he's recognized that he needs to sustain in this lane. I would probably have gone Corrupting Pot over it. Just like try and give you that more first set of sustain. But the Dark Seal essentially means he has 3 pots, he's used 1. Look at him, he's still practically full health in this lane. And whilst he is running out of mana slowly but surely, that Dark Seal is allowing him to make sure he's constantly on that full health.
Yeah, I mean, it is Cran going like, well, hey, you know, you bullied me for 2 games, but you're in my domain now. You're in my lane now, and with the Galio, you know, having to play Galio and stuff. So I feel like he's very comfortable. He knows exactly what we're saying. He knows that he's gonna run out of mana so shortly, but he knows he can like punish Navarian with his Winds of War. Look at that! Like Navarian does nothing to him so far.
If he had more mana there, he probably could have turned on the Lux and killed her.
Most definitely, but that's probably why Navarian went there in the first place.
It's all very quiet in the in Summoner's Rift at the moment. Just some farming going on.
Seeing a 10 CS, well, 11 CS now lead, 12 CS now lead, from the Darius versus the Jax, but it's kind of expected. I honestly feel like with all the comps, it literally feels like this game is just gonna be all about mid to late game and nothing else, because not so much damage. Mid lane, well, there is, but like Galio's just Galio, you know, and unkillable tank sometimes. Jungle is going to be interesting. Top lane is somewhat interesting, but you know.
Yeah, it's quite a slow burner right now.
I can see this Zinzao's top side.
Oh.
They might be looking for a gank.
Oh,
yeah.
Go in. Darius flashing out. Big Ignite popping onto rework top laner.
Oh, nice.
Fight is coming up for the support. Darius is low. He has no flash. Hogswire flashing onto him, knocking him up.
Oh, that's a
Galio. That'll be first blood over to Jax.
I feel that was a waste. I feel like if Pedro was a bit quicker, that would have been like forget even quicker. If Pedro had chosen not to back off, they probably could have turned that. It was just bad like execution. So much early raw power, and like with the Sejuani passive, you just do so much more. You just do so much, like, you know, in terms of CC and lockdown. I think he should have gone for it. It was a bad idea to back off. I guess it's just miscommunication, but that's to be expected sometimes from teams to power you, though.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, whilst the ult doesn't really do much, on the bright side, Kraden does get an assist on that one. And I have played Galio for some times where you do just kind of ult and you're like, oh, why did I ult there? But you gotta look on the bright side of Kraden. He has an assist to himself now. He has that one Dark Seal stack for himself. He'll be he'll be kind of happy about that one. But what is the big thing is that Hawksworth now has a kill on that top lane. And whilst he is still a little bit down in CS, because of the first blood, he is 500 gold up, which is very important in that matchup.
That's so like, it's like, you know, the Darius favored lane isn't Darius favorite anymore. It's like, it's going exactly like Game 1 was, where you had some altercation between the two top laners. Junglers seem to have been getting involved, but then like, you know, rework top laners on like the better laning champ. Hawksworth is on Jax as always. It seems to be going almost the exact same way.
Yeah. Credit to rework top laner. I mean, whilst he has been ganked there, he has still oppressed the lane decently well. He's pushed his advantages. The problem was he was just a little bit too far up in that one engage.
Oh, what's this, Sejuani?
Oh, that's a gank on Kraden. What can he do to avoid this? See the Drans come out?
He has flash. He
doesn't need to use it. Very well played by Kraden there.
Yeah. The fact that, you know what I think Kraden did really well there? He didn't try to knock this Sejuani up, he tried to dash backward, like dodge it instead. Better probably could have played that better if he tried to like try to get knocked up so that he had no escape and he had to force a flash, but all well and good.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a fight going on bot lane, but just gonna be a little bit of poke being landed. I would have been thinking that Peony and Potato would be very happy just poking them down right now, but they haven't really got much damage onto them. In fact, they're behind about 12 CS in this lane, and I wasn't really expecting that coming into it.
So it's the exact same problem. It's the exact same problem from last game, where she takes ancient coin and not like. Wait, that's an all in. That's an all in net.
Unfortunately, Kraden does survive. The thing is though, the thing I learned about Lux last game, her ult has a very low cooldown.
Yeah. if it kills someone, it has a partial reset. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's like a 25-second CDR reduction. I'm pretty sure.
If yeah, as long as it someone has died from it, like 1.2 seconds after it's been casted, I think.
Yeah.
And you know, it depends how conservative you want to be. You know, I know a lot of Lux players, as soon as they get their ult, they'll just ult the wave. And sometimes you won't see it coming, and you get a bit of that poke on you. But you know, when I play Lux, you know, personally, I like to keep hold of it just in case. I don't really use it in the wave.
Lux supports try and spam it in case there's a possibility you're getting a kill. You know, I'm looking at this right now, and again, it's the same story with like, you know, the ancient coin problem where she's taking ancient coin instead of spell thieves. Like, she's actually way ahead in terms of like quest completion gold, but that's more so only because like she's like Karma's playing into a Grom Kaisa lane and not like something that could bully the Karma.
Look, in fact, going on top, Darius ulting maybe a bit too soon. Yeah, I think he could have carried on there and might have been able to kill him there if he stayed on.
I think he was probably just respecting the Jax ult.
Yeah, Jax does have the ignite back up as well.
It means that
so I'm not sure if they had vision on the Sejuani, and he was kind of being aware that if he did end up pushing a little bit more forward, he could possibly get ganked. However, he does have vision control, so I'm not sure how big of a factor that was.
I mean, I'm looking at you. You see right now, the gold is equal despite Jax having, you know, the first blood. So, but just based off of that, I'm like,
well, Turtle looking for the gank. He's going on the bomb. It's already coming down from the top, and that's going to be a very dead.
Yeah.
And a flash coming out from down there. That could be very costly for later on.
That's where. Kraken.
He's going to have to force a flash out. Ignite going down. Can he land stun? He's going to land it, and that's going to be a dead Kraken. That's just a misplay. He didn't want to eing into her after, you know, losing all of his health.
Or like, you know, it's just too risky to do something like that. On the other hand, like as a saving grace, Hawksworth is getting damage down on the top turret. You see, this is kind of the thing where like they keep doing this. Turtle engages. He engaged especially like, right when Karma's backing. You kind of don't want to do because why would you gank and make it a 2v2 when you can let it be a 3v2? Especially if you know Sejuani's bot side, or like you have an inkling that Sejuani was top side a few minutes back and now she's bot side. Why would you do that? But anyway, that's not so bad because they take a fight bot lane and they don't have any TPs on their side, and Galio is getting engaged on by the Lux, so Galio can't even outdown.
Yeah, and the thing is that right now, whilst sure Heads even have a kill, you look at the CS leads, you look at the kills on the other side of the map, and it's actually Heads Haven down around 2k gold already. We're 12 minutes in. Thing is, right now though, no objectives have been took, I believe. So I want to see them start focusing their pressure bot side, trying to get that Mountain Drake. I want to see them really convert off of these fights. And that would be that's the extra step now. You can get the kills, you've got the leads, you've got the gold. Now use that to get a good fight and then get an objective, get a tower or something like. That's the next step for CNA, and I hope to see them able to execute on that. The problem is they aren't playing a very proactive composition, and so I kind of worry for trying to force those fights.
You know, here's the thing, yeah. What I'm trying to find is like when Jax had the kill, had first blood. When they had first blood, there was no gold difference whatsoever because Drigo was making up for it in terms of CS. But now it's like they're 2 kills up. Nox has a kill, Sejuani has an assist. Now it's like, well, shit, you know? Dude, like, bounty.
Giving a PG, please, Hashi. This is a Christian stream.
Anyway,
well, as a Golden Savior Cradden, I hope he can outcast the enemy mid lane here.
But, you know, like, for real. Oh no.
Turtle having to use his ult there to escape. Will he escape? Oh, Hawks were looking to go back in.
Cameraman, let's go.
Oh, the flash is going to come out, and the smite from Turtle. Both summoners down. The Galio coming in, that might knock him up.
Oh, that might
knock him up. That's going to be a dead Darius.
Oh, that was actually a lot of damage.
Oh, Sejuani, caught out of position here. This is not what they wanted right now. This is going to allow Hentai Haven to come back in. Unless...
Backside, Oh no. That's
This
bad.
Lux gonna make an outplay, might be able to kill Hugs. She is gonna get the double root. Oh, he's gonna take a tower shot! He's gonna take another one!
He's gonna die.
Oh my
Wait.
god.
They landed the top. Oh my god!
The variant. Well played, the variant. That
Well
was a
played. Stopwatched when he needed to. Buried when he needed to.
It was even. It was like it came around like right when it was supposed to. So dumb, man. You know, like what you're looking for now. Now you have a Fed Lux on on your hands to deal with if your hands I have.
It's gonna be a repeat of game 1.
Exactly. Oh, it's like you now at this point it's just you just wait until Silver comes online and you can team fight.
But they need to get to the point where Silver can come online.
Yeah, that's true. You have to get to that point first. Just have everyone play safe. Just try and hold safe zones, hold vision lines, and then you do something. But that's the last thing you can do.
Yeah.
But, which kind of sucks because you have Xin Zhao who should be proactive, who should be very strong, but he's 0-2 right now and he's not able to do much.
Yeah, and the big question for me is, Hensai Haven have been known as a big wombo combo engage, big topside team, and they're losing out these topside engages. They're supposed to be a pretty proactive team, and now they're kind of lacking in that area, and I worry for them. They could very well bring it back to the mid to late game, like we did last time, but I do worry because their main strength has been completely taken away from them in this series.
I mean, you can't exactly here's the thing. It's come down to
Civic, giving it no time to react to the spell shield, and that'll be a dead Civic.
You see, it's not just it's not bad communication. Like some of it is, but I guess it's more also like they're not playing as a team. Like in the sense they're not mechanically coordinated. I guess some part of it is also coordination, but the most important thing is like.
This might be first tower.
Oh, it is first tower. Just like
Wow.
Centurion Academy is like so mechanically good. Like Navarian's done so well. There you go.
Yeah, you also got to bear in mind I have to face the winner of this, so I'm looking at the variant. I'm like, ooh, the way ban looks, over that one.
We're up to top lane, looking to go in. I like how Hox is counteracting this. He pops his counter strike straight away, which is making him back off from carrying and engaging. I think he would lose if he was to carry on.
He actually has a cooldown. That hook actually has a bit of a cooldown, right? So you're just abusing the fact that it has a cooldown.
I think a lot of Jack plays normally max it first, or normally the W, depending on matchups.
Oh, I really like that. Just taking a Rift Herald, that's so smart. They recognize the dragons being down and like, okay, we're gonna get something in return. And what that Rift Herald is, that's half a tower at least with throwing it down. That's so useful for them, and that's gonna get themselves a little bit back into the game. And I like this. It's a bit of proactivity from Hensai Haven, and it's what you need in moments like these.
It means you can actually now you actually have like a better chance of reaching the point where Jax and Sivir can just run over again. They just have to right click on everyone and they win.
Yeah, it is gonna be a very, very scary mid to late game for both these teams. I mean, you've got to think about the emotions that are going to be running through these players' heads when it comes to these big mid late game fights. That whole tournament is riding on that fight.
Looks like they're looking to collapse onto. Oh, never mind. I was going to say they probably could have collapsed it on the top lane with the Karma and the Sivir ult, but
they're still looking for it.
It looks like something. It looks like something because Galio's moving up too. Galio has no reason to be there. Go up, so they might be looking for something.
Darius
no! You don't want to hit
turtle out of his own jungle.
No, he hit the ward, so they know that Galio is there. They know it's a 4v5, but here's the thing. Revo's top laner has Ignite. It's an Ignite, it's not Ignite.
Right, going in, Hoxworth jumping straight in with the Galio ult. See, that's the combo we want to see. Torn coming down onto Ron. Hoxworth still trying to bully Trigger. Trigger's gonna fall down to him. Sivir.
Dunk!
And that's gonna be the dunk.
Yeah.
Lux
Oh,
that
that's
side
damage. Oh, but it's okay. Karma gets out alive.
And
they
that
get dark for this. Actually,
was a
Centurion
very well executed play by Hensai Heaven in the top lane.
I said before, it's like if they communicate well, they do well. If they don't, that's it, you know. But on the other hand, like Centurion Academy is also getting a tar for that stuff. Oh, they're annoyed. Oh no, that just turns everything in everyone's favor. Definitely. Also, good on Turtle. Like even though he gave up a kill, he did distract and rework dropping your current like TP and making it back to 5v4. As my coach Endeavor would put it, like you want to play as a team. You don't want to like. If you don't play as a team, you're just gonna lose.
Oh, absolutely. And there are two key things: play as a team and play for objectives. Those are the two main things you want to look at. What CNA have done that I'm really happy with is they've gone for objectives. They got the first tower, they got the dragon. But hence they've made sure they get the little things back. Turtle only has a third of the time left on his Rift Herald pop, so he needs to make sure he can use that effectively. I believe they're gonna look to try and make a play bot, and then after that they can put the Rift Herald.
I feel like that's a bit of a bad idea when like there's no one down mid and you have your Galio moving up.
Insane damage coming out from Hogsworth.
Alright. But I guess it is Jax. It's just, here's the thing, you want to do this mid lane, because mid lane tower is like probably the most important. Wave clear, it's just...
there goes the Rift Herald.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be a tower unless Darius can look to... he's
no,
basically money though, they could look for an engage.
Maybe.
Just missed the ult.
Oh, yeah.
And that is Rift Herald wasted. Not so wasted, but didn't get the tower.
Don't you wish Thomas Iron Devil could play such like that? He has pretty much just as good as him on Sedge.
Now look like Darius might be overstaying here a little bit. Taking up wait, but Sejuani is here for the backup, and the heal coming in on Darius' Q. Turtle force pulls the ult. Hogsworth coming in with the counter strike. Now Hogsworth is going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Going to be stunned up, and the Galio coming in to turn around the fight. He's going to miss the knock up. Lux coming in. Oh, Hogsworth is not in the right place at the wrong time.
Right time, wrong place. What's going on?
And that is that's the power of Darius.
That was going so well. That was just going so well. But here's the thing: Galio has that innate like rotational ability. It's just what good is rotational ability when the other team can just like communicate so much better than your team can, right? Lux is just answering the Galio, and that's a Lux. So.
Yeah, of all the champions you would think could answer a Galio roam, Lux isn't one of them, but it's just taking too long for them to get these kills, because, I mean, we were top laner at full wedge rate. They are tanky members of the team. You don't really want to be engaged straight on them. You want to be getting the Lux on the Kai'Sa. Problem is, when you take those extended fights in the bottom side, it gives time for people like Navarian on the Lux to walk down and help him. And when that happened with all of her damage, she's 4-2 right now, as a Ludens, she's sitting on 1.5k gold right now. She's going to cash in a little bit of that, has the Oblivion Orb. And Sorcerer, there's just so much damage on the Navarian already. We're only 22 minutes into the game. He's been doing very well.
Don't get me wrong, Hogsworth on Jax has Conqueror. So, like 10 to 15 minutes from now, he's just gonna melt the Sejuani. He's gonna melt through like Darius too, and Darius also won't be able to do too much to to Jax. But we aren't at that point yet, but they still fight like they are. Like, why would you fight?
Oh, looks like Darius can pick up another kill here. Hogsworth trying to get out. He's gonna pull him back in. Oh, it's gonna come off from Hogsworth, and he's just gonna...
What's 2 items was 1.5 items, or like 1 3/4 item of items so far.
At the moment, he can't. I don't think he can afford to fight the Darius.
No, he can't. Not at all. It's just as far as I can tell, as far as like anyone watching can tell, it's like the game is anyone's right now. The ball is right in the half court, and it just depends on which team wants it more, or like which team is ready to like do it, do their best for us. Like right now, it looks like Centurion Academy has a 6k gold lead, or 5 point gold lead, but what good, or like 5.6, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like basically a 5k gold lead, but that gold lead will eventually it's a law of diminishing returns, where like the longer this game goes on, the less the gold lead will matter, and when Sever, who is right now on 2 items just by the way, and Trinity Force Jax, that's like when these two pop off, like that's it right there. We're seeing it right now. He's just
Darius looking to escape, but I think he's going to succumb to the damage.
He will. Jax was doing that on his own, honestly. Wait, that's a smart call from Centurion Academy, though.
I love that. That is a beautiful call by Centurion Academy. Spot the jungle bot, there's 10 on the Baron. That is... I love that. That is so smart. And they just score it. That Zivaki nearly scared me. Good play by them. It's smart play by Centurion. That is very, very smart play. They used the fact that the jungler's bot side to take the Baron. It's just clean communication. That's what we've seen this whole game from Centurion Academy. They've been clean. They've been... The communication, the rotations, they've all been so good.
The thing is, Drigo is their shot caller, I'm pretty sure, and Drigo is very, very like, he's very proficient at that. So, it's like I'm glad that they're doing this. Like, they have a much better look than they had like last. That said, like, again, Hentai Heaven, down but not out, down but not out. There's still a chance they can pull it. They can still pull it together.
If any team's gonna jank out a win like that, it's probably gonna be Hentai Haven. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
The thing that I'm surprised though is that there's been so much priority on this Galio for Graden. They've been banning it out. He got the pick and he hasn't been able to do much on it. Like, sure, he's had 5 out of 6 kills in terms of kill participation, but the problem is there hasn't been enough there, and Navarian's just been given, like you said, a free lane. He's just got ahead. He's 4-0-2 now. He can poke out anyone incredibly easily, and they're just gonna start sieging now. And you don't want to try and defend a siege against someone like the Work.
Now, all Hentai Heaven needs to do now is sort of hold them back whilst they can get that Jack split push in. And you know, Hox, oh, he's recalling now, but he was in the bot line looking for that push, but he's realised that, you know, his team can't defend. They need him there.
I mean, that's the thing, yeah. That's the sad part of not having TP. Like, hey, you're gonna do something in lane, but like outside of lane, which is most of the game anyway. Like, you know, if you're playing a Jax and Silver, like most of the game is gonna, the most of the game that you want most of the game. Sorry, you want most of the game to be outside of lane phase.
Oh, Coxwood looking to go straight in. The Galio coming down, blocking them up. Oh, flash engage from these Zinzal there, popping the ult. Sivir is just getting free hits. No one on her. Darius is now coming in, TP'd him onto the back line, taking them all down. Coxwood still alive, still looking to go. Darius flashing in, trying to take out the Jax. Jax goes down, and that is almost an ace for Hentai Haven.
Wait, is that going to be it?
Only Marley getting out.
That will be at the end. Like,
oh my goodness.
Might have just been knocked out of Shell 2 right here.
Yeah,
can Rani pull off something amazing?
You have to give it to Jigger for like hiding that so well.
Darius is tanking the towers. That is going to be the second tower down. Rani looking for that desperate last play here.
I don't think it's going to happen. That's going to be it. Oh my goodness gracious me.
GG well played coming out of the chat. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Hentai Haven
out of the Shell 2. That goes out of the streak. I think, you know what I think it was? More than anything, it was our cost of course. We thought Hentai Haven would win game 1, Centurion Academy won game 1. We thought Centurion Academy would win game 2. They won. The Hentai Haven won game 2. And now this. It is a bit of a cost of course, not gonna lie. Feels like it.
Alright, let's get some will players in the chat for Hentai Haven, playing their heart out.
Definitely.
Despite the outcome.
Yeah, they did their well. They honestly did their best in that second game, and I think like first game could have gone better. Third game was what I wanted from them. So it all came down to like the smallest things.
Okay, now I think we can do MVPs now.
Oh, very much so. We can. Now, I unfortunately have never to watch the rest of the series. All I saw was the pausing to get bodied and then this game. However, from this kind of view, there are 2 big candidates. There's Drigger with his big voice in the communications, but also his incredible kiting in that final fight. Also, Navarian, he had such a lead, and he essentially made Kraden completely useless this game. He tried to make plays happen, but Kraden couldn't do it. And I put that down to Navarian just poking him out, getting himself that lead. It's very, very well played by him. It's hard to really pick a MVP. I'm probably going to edge it to Trigger just because of the communications, but it's going to be hard. However, what I can bring in just before Hashi gets to speak about his MVP, I'm going to now announce the semi-final matchups that we have. We have on the left side of the bracket, Team Elite versus Revival, and on the right side of the bracket, 100 Cobra versus Centurion Academy. Now, two of those teams are going to meet in the final, but we don't know which ones yet. So stay tuned to find out. Anyways, Hachi, what's your MVP?
Honestly, prepare your butts for Centurion Academy next week. But but like with the performance today, I feel like it would have been, the voice on their team. He may have guided well, but I feel like consistency and everything into account, Navarian probably did the best right there. I give it to Navarian for sure as my MVP because every time the focus was on him, he did it well every single time. Like he didn't fail at anything, he didn't miss anything. He did exactly what he had to do. Matched Galio roams. He did what many mid laners except for Wakata Chui wouldn't do.
Well, I think I'm not sure how we're gonna finish this up. I think we might be able to get an interview someone, but right now we're holding out on who we're gonna get.
Jack, hello.
Hello.
Who's your MVP?
Oh, I am gonna put my MVP to Rework Top, as
Top,
I
yeah.
feel like he has had a hard time in lane throughout every game, but he's always managed to turn it around and become that that strong top laner that his team needed, even though he was down. And and it's quite hard. I know Hawksworth is a very good top laner, and playing from behind and coming back, especially in the second game as Renekton, that just served them really well. So that's who my MVP is going to go to.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Actually, I can see where you're coming from on that. I think if we had to choose one, do we want to agree on one or do we want to
I mean, haven't we just picked? What have we just picked 3?
Yeah, well,
we
we just picked one each, but
I
if
think
go for a consensus.
with general consensus, who do we want to give it to consistently?
Well, I was between Drigger and Navarian, so
I was
we could
between the Rework top laner. So, well, who did you want, Jack? Between Rework top laner and someone else, maybe?
It was Navarian or top. So
okay, I guess Navarian was part of all of our kind of considerations. So,
so well played for Navarian for receiving the MVP of the series. Congratulations.
oh, very happily, ooh, love that.
Yeah.
Get some spicy interviews in.
Ooh. At least now I'm not on. I've gone from being on the receiving end of an interview to being the interviewer, so that's gonna be fun. The old swap. I'm looking forward to what Drigger has to say. He always has something to say, and I as we know.
Oh, bye, Haji.
Oh, there he goes into the
abyss.
Yeah, he must have got like final snaps or something. But Drigger, I mean, he's gonna be flying high after this game. Now, me flying high is like, yeah, we can do pretty well, possibly make finals. Drigger flying high, I mean, I'm expecting big predictions out of this guy. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, every time Drigger's has something to say about CNA, it's always we'll make it to the finals. So, hello.
And we just got hard ganked by streamer. Let's go.
Yep.
But it is official, guys. Centurion Academy are a superior team to Centurion right now. Academy has surfaces the best team. I'm questioning whether or not Drigger's going to swap the titles around now. Because, I mean, if you don't want the Academy team to be better than the actual team, that isn't really how Academy teams necessarily should work. However, I think if they were sister teams, you kind of maybe rebranded one to like Centurion Blue, Centurion Red, or something like that. Maybe they could do that, and that would be a little bit better for them.
We have word from production that the variant is not available.
Oh, I would love Drigger.
Let's get if we get Drigger, then we get someone from Hentai Haven, if anyone. I think
I mean,
Cradden said he'll come in. Get Cradden in.
I think we're still on stream, at least.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
How's everyone's evening?
Yeah, mine is pretty good. I mean, admittedly, I haven't said hi to my parents yet. It's 10 o'clock, but that's because they came home late and they came at the start of the match. So I'll go do that afterwards.
Overrated.
Parents overrated. Hence I haven't outdated. Long as we've waited. Centurion Academy. Activated. There we go. I'm slowly but sure that I'm learning Cradden's rhymes. It's a hard thing to get accustomed to.
Okay.
Do you want me to lead the interview?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so first interview is here. It's
Oh, there we go. Hi there, guys.
There we go. You're right, fellas.
Hey, okay, so
Big Black Kaiser.
First
one
of all,
winner.
just want to say well played. Well played, both of you. Very
Yeah,
fun
of
games
course.
to watch.
Well played. Great set of matches to watch. I mean, I only saw one game. I from what I've heard, it was a really good series. So I'm gonna start. We'll start on a high note. Drigger, you have just saw your main team lose 2-0 to Haven, and now you have successfully avenged them, taking a 2-1 win over Haven. You're in the semis now. How far are we looking?
Can it just be cliche and say one game at a time? Nah.
Oh, don't worry, I did understand.
I mean, let's be fair. The series was hella close. I think that third game definitely could have gone anywhere, either way. Second game definitely could have gone either way. I can't remember the first game now. There's that many pauses. But yeah, I mean, you've got to give Haven all fair dues. They smashed the main team, who I thought was going to go all the way, and then they put up a hell of a fight against us lot. And Jesus, we were tryhard in that game. So yeah, credit where credit's due. In regards to the whole CNT over CNA thing, I mean, we've got to look at it this way. 4 out of the 5 members of Centurion made it to the semi-finals in the Shah 1. We then had Kids roll swap, new jungler come in. And not only is that a reflection on the individual players, but it's a reflection on the shot calling as well. And people need to realise that. I think communication was a massive issue in the game against Haven. Till played a big factor, as I'm sure they'll say themselves. And that's the way the cookie crumbled. I think, as Kiz said on the podcast, shout out Lederate Podcast, twitch.tv/Centurion. As Kiz said on the podcast, we were 8k gold ahead and through, and then tilted for the game 2, and that's how this game goes. I mean, we basically did the same thing in game 2, 6k gold ahead through at Baron, but we're going to have a lot of changes. I think there's a lot of things in the works for Centurion, both the main team and the academy team, and I think both teams could look better off for it. And I'll tell you what, if the regular season comes ahead, I reckon both teams will be challenging for first in their groups.
I mean, good things to hear from Trigger. Obviously, you're very happy. Now, Cradden, unfortunately, you have been knocked out. It was a very, very close series, but let's look ahead. We have the regular season coming up very soon. We only have a month's break now until, obviously, we have the show, and then that's it. So, in terms of Haven's kind of vision, whereabouts do you see yourselves getting placed? Are you looking to challenge for first place? Are you satisfied with being playoffs? Is there a certain team you want to really take down?
Great question and lots of thoughts to it. Yeah, I want to start off by doing the formalities and just congratulating Centurion Academy on winning. They played solidly and got a great lead over us in the early game in all 3 games, which shows their consistency. And before I get to the question, a shout out to Nav. He absolutely demolished me in laning phase and had the team fight plays in all 3 games. But yeah, moving on to the regular season. Depending on how the groups run, I think the way I've been playing with Haven, I've only been officially playing for 2 series, and I'm still the substitute mid laner to Florio. So whether I'm in the regular season is to be confirmed. From my experience, Haven could maybe get better at a few of the basics of the game. However, they have stellar communications and maybe the best team environment I've ever worked with. On any day, I think we could beat any opponent, but I think it's like Hawksworth in the top lane. He's very aggressive, very YOLO. He could go very ahead or very behind, and I think that's how Haven are going to go in the regular season.
All right, good to hear. So let's look towards next week. We have 2 matches going on. We'll start with the one that's less associated with today's game. We have Team Elite going against Revival. They both 2-0'd their series. Team Elite 2-0 over Vivid Reality, and Revival 2-0'd Polite Execution. is there a certain person you see coming out on top in that match? I'll start with Drake and then we'll go to Kraken.
Well, I think Revive was expected 2-0, no discredit to Pex. And I think we could both have seen VVD win and TE win. I think the fact that TE stomped VVD 2-0, I think puts them in such a strong situation. I think I've underrated them throughout the show, and I think they can take Revival down relatively easily. We'll have to see how it goes. I think they could match up quite well, particularly seeing Aggressive versus Lodio in the mid lane, but I'm expecting a TE clean sweep for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and to you, Kraken?
And yeah, for me, it's a pretty different question. I haven't seen too much of any of the teams on that side. I think Revival, I believe they were on stream last week. I did see some amazing safe ADC play from Paxlow, just accelerating into a massive kill lead. So if that's my only takeaway from the stream game, then I think they can generate a lot of pressure early on. And the way Team Elite play, if you can manage to stay sort of even in the early game, then Revival will have a very good chance. So I'm going to say Revival. I'm going to throw Neck out and say 2-0.
Oh, that's a scoreline. And then the other side, I mean, we might be a little bit biased here, both interviewer and interviewee. In this
yeah,
case.
Of course.
Hunter Cobra versus Centurion Academy. Now, Trigger, I'll go to you. Now, I want to hear your bold prediction. You know, it could be a 2-0, 2-1. I assume you're going to predict Centurion Academy, but let's try and describe, how do you think the series is going to go for you guys?
I mean, here's the thing. I've seen 100 Cobra game, and it was the one game that was streamed. We've never scrimmages with either team. So for me to make a prediction, I don't think it's fair, especially for me to be over the top with it. So, I mean, listen, the boys bounced back from a tilt-worthy game in Game 2. After all the pauses as well, like that could have easily been a game where we completely get reverse swept. And I think based off that, we are going to take it. But I think it's going to be 2-1 because I think you guys have definitely impressed so far in the tournament. And I would like to see 100 Cobra versus T in the final anyway. So either way, I won't be too upset. But I'm going to predict 2-1 for us. But I definitely think you'll give us a good run for our money.
Thanks a lot. I mean, obviously, I would probably predict 2-1 100 Cobra. I think Centurion Academy, whilst I before this, I would have just said, oh yeah, 2-0 easy. But after watching that series, you guys played incredibly well, and you've surprised me. Because after seeing Centurion go down 2-0, you wouldn't expect the Academy team to really show up, but you guys really have. You have incredibly strong players, top, mid. I mean, pretty much every part of the map I'm looking at, and I'm kind of scared. But obviously, I have confidence in my boys at 100 Cobra. I'm pretty sure our style is going to be able to go incredibly well into that series, and I think we will take it 2-1. I do think you'll get a game where you end up snowballing one of the lanes, and you'll be able to play around that player incredibly well. I don't know who it's going to be because you're so scary, but I think it's going to happen once. But past that, yeah. And Cradden, as an unbiased source, I guess I'll ask Chewy afterwards. Cradden, unbiased, 100 Cobra versus Centurion Academy. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm feeling eyes on me from both sides of the booth, regardless of which way I go. I think that it will come down a lot to the jungle matchup because Spring and Slacking, they're both very influential. They can play the bruiser jungler, but they can also vary their pool a bit. I think the mid lane and top lane will be fairly safe and going to late game, but I really want to see the jungle matchup dictate things. From the way Spring was playing today, I have to give the edge to Centurion Academy, and I'll say 2-1.
And Ricardo Chewy, to you. I mean, you haven't really said much, but...
Yeah, no, I was... Can you repeat the question? So I kind of zoned out a little bit.
The question, 100 Cobra Centurion Academy. Who's taking it? What's goal?
Oh. Well, I haven't really had the chance to see 100 Cobra play apart from like the scrims we've been doing. So obviously no scrim leaks. But from what I've seen today, I feel like CNA will take it, but I think it'll be quite close. So I'm going to say 2-1 to CNA.
Oh, I see how it is getting ganged up on in the desk.
Sorry for the caster, but
it's fine. We like being near to those. Please keep us near to those. Well, yeah, that's looking really good for us. I mean, there's only 4 teams left. That really surprised. Like, it feels like it hasn't been that long, but only 4 teams remain. And of all the 4 teams that you would have thought at the start of the tournament, I don't think names like 100 Cobra is a big one that kind of surprised. I mean, they kind of surprised me. We did really well. Centurion Academy was not the name you expected to come out of that side of the bracket, just straight up. That was just a wacky side. Revival have done very well for themselves. I have to admit, they yet to lose a game in the shell, actually. Team Elite actually have a worse record. About that. Then again, Wonder Kids did really show up in that first game. Big thing to think about with Team Elite, I believe they're using North for the rest of the tournament as support. So that could weaken their bot lane a little bit, as there may not be enough synergy there. It's a really exciting one. Split predictions, though. There are a few teams that have gone out early that people weren't expecting. So, of the teams that have been knocked out, so Centurion, Hentai Haven, Seven Deadly Sins, Checkmate Alpha, Serenity Gaming Pegasus, Play Execution, Wonder Kids, and Vivid Reality, who is going to place the highest next split? Now, Drigger, so
it's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious, isn't it?
I'll let Drigger have his Centurion. Cradden, will it be Hentai Haven, or do you see someone like Seven Deadly Sins and Centurion really pushing through?
I'd love to go biased, but I can't rank Hentai Haven that highly. I think Wonder Kids are going to be, as the name suggests, a fairly surprise package. They face Team Elite in the first round, which is a pretty awkward draw. On the other side, the team you beat, Byron, Seven Deadly Sins, I think they'll show up big, and I can't count out Centurion, not least while Drigger's in the call. So, yeah, I like that. I like the fact that regular season will let the team show themselves a lot more and vary styles rather than putting everything on the line in every match.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be exciting to see how teams kind of play when the pressure's been kind of laid off a little bit, and it isn't a tournament match every single time where you need to win this. Chewy, I mean, I'll ask you the same question, but so it says you're going to say 7 yes.
Oh, I mean, obviously I got to stick with my boys.
Yeah. Right, so I've got to round out this right now. I'm trying to think of a nice little question to round off. I'll just ask any final words. That's how you can end an interview. I'll start with Drigger. We'll go to Cradden.
Yeah, great tournament. I think a lot of teams got lucky with the draw. I think we've either got SRG and PEX. I think then TE got VVD and Wonder Kids. And I think we've got to kind of keep expectations relatively low for some teams and really hype up the teams that deserve it. It's going to be exciting semi-final, and hopefully Impress has just put in captain's headquarters at the semi-finals might not be on the same day, which would be pretty fucking poggers. So if teams can get that sorted, that'd be great.
Well, I mean, over and out. It might mean I don't have to play on my birthday. We'll see how that one goes. Cradden, any final words?
Yeah, moving over to me. I'm going to move away from the tournament as a whole and just say that I've been officially a Hentai Haven player for 2 weeks, and the way we've come together and had a really nice, fun atmosphere, but also a try-hard atmosphere at the same time. It's been great, and I'd just like to thank any of my team that are listening right now. Let's keep going.
And you know what, Tree? I'll let you have a few final words. You've casted the whole series.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I just want to say well played for everyone who played today. Good luck to all those teams moving on to the semi-finals, and get ready because 7DS are coming in strong for the split.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly close out this. Thanks everyone for watching. Congratulations to all the teams, Team Elite, Revival, 100 Cobra, Centurion Academy for winning today. Semi-finals will be January 21st, 7 p.m. There might be an extra day. We might be getting a treat of 2 semi-finals streamed, so that'll be a very exciting set of games to watch. But for now, we say goodbye. We'll see you guys next week. Team Elite, Revival, and the 100 Cobra, Centurion Academy. Have a good one.